The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at HMB Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott Lewis. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChairScott. You can follow the Barbers Chair Network on Twitter and Instagram at BarbersChairNet. Follow HMB Media at HMB Media TV on Twitter and at HMB Media on Instagram. And of course, get in tune with our sponsor, Pillars. You can visit pillarsclub.co. Follow them on Instagram at pillars_club or visit any of their 3 locations in the Chicagoland area, man. It is Monday, March 18th, 2024. We are one day away from spring, man. Doesn't really matter if you live in the Midwest because it's probably going to be cold again any goddamn way. But we have got a packed show here to go for y'all today. But while y'all are at it, you might as well click that like button, comment, subscribe, tell us whatever you want to tell us, man. Even if you cussing us out, calling us idiots, whatever. We appreciate all your engagement, man. We've got a big show on deck. Got a lot of Chicago news to go over. Going, talk about the Justin Fields trade once again. What does this mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers? We're going to talk about what should some of the expectations be for Caleb Williams, man. Of course, we got some World Series talk. MLB MLB season kicking off in 10 days. Got some MLB talk in the hot corner with Courtney. And then we've got Respect the Culture with our culture correspondent, Larry Legend, later on in the show. While you're at it, you need to subscribe to the Patreon right now, man. Patreon.com /Barbers Chair Network. On there, you can check out the local hour, Chicago Sports Local Hour, which is overtime, which goes live on the Patreon at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday and Friday after each show, man. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Before I bring in my cast, it's time to do my sound off, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. I didn't have a sound off until this morning, so I appreciate this person for giving me this content. We are about approximately 38 days from the 2024 NFL Draft, which will be held in Detroit, Michigan. And of course, it is no secret that the Chicago Bears have the number 1 overall draft pick. This time, unlike last year, they'll be using that draft pick. And, the big conversation these last couple of weeks was what are you going to do? Are you going to have Justin Fields or are you going to have Caleb Williams? And now that the Justin Fields trade finally went through this past weekend, we're looking for things to talk about. We saw the report from CBS. The Bears don't know what they're gonna do at pick number 1, which is bullshit. Like, I know that we gotta do the content is king thing. Shout out to my man Bang, who always tells us that every day content is king. But come on, man. Is it 100%? Obviously not. This is like, you're being engaged. Like, you're not married yet. But unless something drastic happens, you will be. It's the same thing with this. Unless Caleb Williams' arm fucking falls off Wednesday doing his pro day, we all know where this is going to go. But that's not even the problem I have there. The problem I have is former quarterback, former number 2 pick in the 2012 NFL draft, Mr. RG3, Robert Griffin III. I'm going to do my Stephen A real quick. I have no problems with RG3. For the most part, I like what RG3 brings to the media game. I think he's one of the best athlete personalities out there. This take he had this morning was some bullshit. I don't know when we have continuously keep going with the Eli Manning, John Elway, Caleb Williams should request a trade. I mean, not request a trade, but like request that he doesn't get drafted by the Chicago Bears thing. First of all, it's nonsense because Caleb Williams himself even said that, he was excited about the prospect of playing with the Chicago Bears at the Combine a couple weeks ago. In fact, I've got the actual quote with me for those of you who, think that, this is something that we're just making up out of thin air, man. So Caleb Williams, when he was at the Combine, he said this, and I quote, "I mean, the Bears were a 7-10 team last year, and that's pretty good for a team that has the first pick. They've got good defense, they've got good players on offense, and they're pretty exciting if you can go into a situation like that." Now, mind you, that was before this team traded for Keenan Allen, before this team signed DeAndre Swift, before they added another weapon in Gerald Everett. That was what he said at the time. Now, there's a couple things about this argument that honestly pisses me off. Number one, we keep ignoring the fact that John Elway was drafted by the New York Yankees, and he always had that in his back pocket of saying, well, if y'all going to draft me, I'll just go play baseball. We keep forgetting that Eli Manning is from the NFL's first family, and, whatever the Mannings say goes. And on top of that, he had an agent. These are two situations where agents do a lot of the inner workings. Trust me, if there was any inclination that he did not want to be in Chicago, we would have heard that shit by now. We'd have heard that in Gossip Central, which is the NFL Combine. We'd have heard that from some type of source. And on top of that, he damn sure wouldn't have just said the quote that I just named if he felt any type of way of not going to Chicago. And I'm mad at the overall perception of the Bears. The Bears have been a historically trash franchise in the Super Bowl era. If you take away the 80s, this is one of the worst franchises ever run. And even you can say in the 80s, they could have ran it back a couple times if they actually general manager who actually wanted to pay the money to the guys to bring them back. But the problem I have with RG3 is him acting like Washington is a better place to go. Like, I understand that you played for the Commanders, even though they weren't called at the time, the Commanders and all that. You've got love for the area. There was even rumors that you wanted to buy the team when it was up for sale. But they have done, if you're gonna blame the Bears for what happened to Justin Fields. And by the way, Justin Fields isn't a fucking martyr, and I'll get into that later. But nobody who runs the Bears right now in the front office was there when Justin Fields got drafted. Ryan Pace is working for the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Nagy is in his second year as offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. What's the Lucas guy? This is his name, Josh Lucas. I don't know if y'all remember the name. The Lucas dude who they always keep bringing up in all these
Josh Lucas, all
these Chicago interviews. That's like interviewing a nigga that burned a house down and ask you how you can improve everything. You part of the mess. Stop interviewing that dude. So all these people who were involved in that no longer work for the Bears. So I don't like the fact that you're going to keep bringing up the old shit for the current GM. If you're going to do that, then your logic of saying that the Washington Commanders are a better place doesn't match either. Yeah, they've got new ownership. You got Magic Johnson over there. They got a new general manager. But what have they proved yet to prove this is a good situation? On paper today, the Chicago Bears are a much better roster than the Washington Commanders. And let's play devil's advocate and say that they did decide to trade up one. We all know that Ryan Poles is greedy with his trades. If you don't give him what he wants, for the most part, he's not doing a trade. So if he did trade, it would be the biggest trade probably in NFL history, which would dilute that team of resources with draft picks and probably current players and make that roster even 30 times worse than it even is now. So why the fuck would he want to play there? I understand that we've got to, fill space over these next 38 days and things like that, but at least be fucking consistent, man. And if there's anybody on planet Earth who knows how much of a shit situation is there in Washington, it's RG3 himself. They literally left that man for dead. And now you're over here caping for him. I just don't understand that. So all I'm asking to the people out there is let's just have actual logical conversation. I'm not proud of you hot taking it up. At least let that hot take have a little bit of merit to it. That shit just made no fucking sense. And I was actually glad to see that one of the rare times in Twitter history, you looked at the quotes, everybody was killing it for him. And people with actual non-trolling minds in their head we're killing them. I think Pat McAfee and them talked about it on the show today. It was like it's not even a comparable situation. And deep down inside, I know RG3 knew that he said some bullshit. He had that look on his face that you're not even really believing the shit that's coming out your mouth. So that's my sound off on that. I need RG3 to cut the bullshit, man. So let's bring in the rest of the crew, man. We've got the one and only JR Bang. You can follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. We've got the one and only Courtney Collarbro. You can follow her 1-800-Collarbro on Twitter and Instagram. And we've got president of Barber's Chair Network, co-producer of this show, Mr. Dante Miles. You can follow him at October's Own Tay. How y'all feeling, man?
Hey, solid, man. Ready to get to it.
Same here. Ready for some baseball next week, so I don't have to talk about the draft no more.
Courtney is fed up with our shit. As everybody has said, shout out to Damien, who said nobody's happier that Justin Fields got traded than Courtney, so we can stop talking about this shit. So we're not 100% done with it. Shout out my man Tef in the chat. Definitely subscribe to the Patreon because we're every penny. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody who commented. Orlando Ortiz, one of our usuals in the chat. We got 208 people right now in the stream. Let's get those numbers up right now, man. But let's just get into our first topic, man. The first topic is the who failed Justin Fields there. I want to put this out here right now. I am putting a mandate on the show today. After today, we will not be discussing Justin Fields if it doesn't have anything to do with him actually playing. When he plays and he has a great game, we're going to talk about that shit, give him his love, all that. But after today, in Bears conversations, we will not be talking about that anymore. It's just he's gone. We're going to hand him off to Steeler fans. Here you go. This is what we're going to do, give it to them. But my question is, we're going to talk about, who ruined. There's been a whole bunch of things, obviously, with the RG3 thing. And one thing I feel that's amazing I see in national media over these last couple of days, that every national media person was killing Justin Fields the last two seasons. Like the wins, which is bullshit because the wins isn't the fucking quarterback stat. And, you should run the 2 running back set and all the type of bullshit that you hear from people who don't really pay attention to the Bears. And now all of a sudden he gets traded. It's, they could have got something more. Just a couple of days ago, it was, look at the market. The market's telling you this and da-da-da-da. Now you're switching up. So my thing is this. I do believe the Chicago Bears ruined Justin Fields. I believe the organization ruined Justin Fields. I don't believe Ryan Poles ruined Justin Fields. Am I saying that he helped him? No, he definitely didn't help that nigga. But I don't think he's part of ruining him. The ruining people, like I just said a couple minutes ago, do not have Hallis Hall ID cards anymore. So I feel like at this particular time, we need to kind of take the blame and put it in the right way. And putting the blame on Ryan Poles fully just doesn't make any sense to me, especially when he did something this week, which we heard from Courtney Cronin. Adam Schefter reported the same thing, that the Bears had 4 other offers from teams that would have gave up higher draft capital, but they allowed Justin to tell them where he wanted to go. That wasn't the best thing for the franchise. It was the best thing for Justin. He said at the combine, we're going to do right by Justin, and he was a man of the word. We can say a lot of things about Ryan Poles. You can say he's been more lucky than good. I would agree with that. You can say that he put Justin, in particular situations where he didn't help him by giving him everything he did right now. You can say that as well. But one thing you can say, he's not a man of his word. When he came out a couple weeks ago and said that, we're going to franchise Jalen, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a deal done. And everybody thought that was bullshit. And we got that deal 48 hours after he got the tag put on him. So I believe that was something, and if anything, you could talk about it wasn't good for the franchise. I saw a couple people say you don't win championships like that, which is funny when Bears fans tell you how to win championships. Like, nigga, we don't know how to win championships, especially not in this fucking modern era. If anything, it just sends a message to your locker room. It sends a message to Justin's people and Justin that we're going to do right by you. And for any future Bears players, this guy's a man of his word. And that's why I kind of feel with that. I'm going to go to Dante first. Dante, you had a moment, you had a weekend to, get over. I rewatched the reaction show. You were not there physically. Like you were there physically, but you wasn't there with us, bro. Like he actually left, and I don't even remember when he left. The nigga just was not there no more. So you had a weekend to collect your thoughts. What do you think about the trade and really just who should get the blame for even putting Justin in the situation?
I think the blame goes on the organization. It's not Justin. It's not Ryan Poles. I think with Poles, he didn't go out of his way to help Justin, but he did help Justin. He drafted an offensive tackle in Wright. he went and got DJ Moore. You know what I'm saying? He those two were the biggest pieces that he got for him. But I think at the end of the day, Justin didn't fit into his plan because Ryan Poles came in with his plan. You got to remember, Poles didn't pick any of the coaches. So, he had no say so in this development both times in both situations. So now this is a situation where you see he has his full hand on the strings and he's telling you, okay, well, no, we're going to do this. Like I said, when have we ever seen a head coach be, the consultant when you're hiring an offensive coordinator? Like, this is clearly his show. And so to do this, to say Ryan Poles is the reason Justin Fields failed, nah, it's the organization. It was set up to fail. We talk about, not aligning everybody, and this is not aligned either. But at the same time, I think this is the first time in a while that we've seen our general manager go out of his way to set up an offense and bring in a quarterback that's going to have, be in a position to succeed. So I think with Justin, it was the organization from the jump. It had nothing to do with Ryan. He's just doing his job, and he's continued to do a great job at his job.
Dang, man. What you think about this, this blame narrative and who should get the main blame?
The Bears should get the main blame. Like the whole job of a organization and a coaching staff is to build off of what you come in with. And I think that, from Matt Nagy to Lou Getsy, it just feels like that they was trying to mold Justin into what they have going on instead of being a coach and coaching and using the strengths of that player to build a round. And that's an organizational failure. The narrative that I don't like is the Bears, has destroyed all of these quarterbacks. No, that's not been the case. It's just been on higher alert, these last couple of seasons because you had Mitch and Justin. Does Justin have some faults in there? I'm not going to necessarily say he does, because if you listen to what everybody has said, Justin is the first person in the locker room and the last person to leave. Justin is a student of the game. He is always, in the playbook and all of those things. So when you have a player like that, you do have to ask yourself if all of that is true, because I'm not there. But if that is true, you have to ask yourself, what went wrong when you have a player with the skill and the talent that Justin Fields has, and that is happening? That and as a manager myself, I've had this conversation a couple of times this week. Like, at the end of the day, the sword falls on us as leaders if we don't get what we need to get out of our team. So it's unfair for me to say this is all on Justin. Quite honestly, it's hard for me to say that any of this is on Justin, because as a leader, you have to do what you need to do to get the most out of your player. And I don't think that the Bears, well, not the organization, but the coaches that they had in place was looking to get the most out of Justin. They wanted to get what they wanted out of Justin, what fits them. And that's not what coaching is. And that's why I believe that this is, I guess I won't call it an organizational failure, but I will call it a coaching failure on the staffs that the Bears organization put in place. And they didn't necessarily have the right people in place to say, hey, this is what you need to do, because they don't really have football players at the top of their organization.
I agree that before we go to Courtney, just two things. One, I want to answer this one question here from Daryl Miles on Facebook. Said, didn't Poles hire Eberflus? Yes, he did hire Eberflus, but my only the reason I said that Eberflus, I don't know if he's a bad coach yet. Would I have fired him? Hold on. Let me just get this out. Let me just say that I think I don't know if he's a bad coach yet, but I think that the reason I say that I wouldn't use that he ruined him, because he's still here. So obviously he believes somewhat in this nigga, whether we like him or not. It's not like he fired him and sent him the door just like he sent Justin. It's like, oh yeah, I hired a bad coach and now I'm going to bring a new coach in with Caleb. Obviously he feels something about Eberflus, whether wrong or not, to the fact where I don't think we can use that as far as him ruining him. But go ahead, Dante.
No, I was going to say, didn't they give him like a list of coaches? Like, he go to 4 finals and pick one.
Yeah, they gave him the 3 finals.
Yeah, no, so like that's why I always do the air quotes when they say he hired Flus, bro. Like, it sound good, but
his interview process is going on at the same right at the same time. At the same time, so yeah,
they gave him Dan Quinn, Caldwell, and Eberflus as the finalists. The thing is that he and Eberflus had some type of relationship because of Trace
They agent
Armstrong.
or some shit or something like that, right?
That Trace Armstrong, I think, was the connection, so they was already well aware of each other. But the Bears gave him 3 finalists and was like, "Yo, interview these people.
Pick one of
pick
these
from them."
niggas, yeah. And you're right, Jay Sanders said Eberflus didn't have the team ready. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'd have kept him. First of all, I would have never hired that nigga to begin with. I was definitely pro Dan Quinn. I remember Dante, you kept saying, "No, don't
Hell
get Dan
no,
Quinn."
hell no.
I was
You
very much
crazy.
pro Dan
You
Quinn
fucking
doing
crazy.
doing the process. But yeah, I personally would have fired Eberflus and I would have gave Jim Harbaugh a blank check. But I don't want you to think I'm caping for Eberflus. That's not what's going on here.
That's
But
messed up because I was pro Mike McDonald. I was pro McDonald.
well,
Homie,
see, that'd have been a good one because I didn't even know I knew who he was, but
that's who
he
I
was
wanted.
one of them like under the radar. But go ahead, Courtney. As an outsider, what's your opinion on this?
Well, I agree with everything that Bang just said wholeheartedly. I don't know if I would necessarily call it an organizational failure as much as the people in the organization propped up these coaches who clearly did not coach very well. And it's funny, though, to me, how certain people get like the longer leashes than others, right? So like Trevor Lawrence in his first year, it's like, oh, don't worry. He'll get better.
Trick off
Trev. He'll get better. Don't worry about it, right? It's just, shaky situation with Urban Meyer. But like Justin wasn't unfortunately given the same opportunity. What can you do? Now he's in a better situation. Good for him. But no, they failed that man. Let's call it what it is. They failed that man. And y'all were just talking about Eberflus. So if Eberflus, what does he have to do in order to lose his job? I just feel like the cycle is kind of repeating itself, guys. Like, do y'all not see this?
I'll put it like this.
Again, I'm an outsider. So I don't watch obviously as much Bears football as y'all do, but do y'all not see the beginnings? Okay. I read, Bears media. Do y'all not see the beginnings of the cycle repeating itself?
Yes or no? Here's why I feel, and I'm not an optimistic guy. Let me just say this. I am not the glass half full guy.
We know, nigga.
Scott got on me all year about that shit. Glass half full, nigga. I think this time is different. And I said it on Friday. It feels like to me for the first time, maybe since Jerry Angelo, I'll go as far as that. The Bears have a plan. There's some type of plan in place. So I am a pro Justin Fields. I gave up and was like, let's do this Caleb Williams shit. But the reason why I gave up mostly is because I just feel like Ryan Poles actually have a plan in place. I don't think that Ryan Pace had a plan in place. I don't think that Phil Emery had a plan in place. And I also believe that Flus does have some wiggle room here because of this situation. I do think he has some wiggle room. If the defense was huff, if the defense didn't improve and the defense was huff, that's the wiggle room. But also, we keep talking about the Bears are 3-14. The Bears was 7-10. They improved 4 games over last season, y'all. So they would, if you think Flus is going to get fired, that means you believe that the Bears is going to wet the bed defensively along with offensively with the weapons they got. That's the only way he's getting fired.
I got to challenge that, bro.
If they shit the bed and they go, let's say they don't win 7 games, then he's getting fired. So if you think that, and I'm really talking to the people who think who's operating in if you're operating in which a general manager or a head coach is not operating in y'all. They're not operating in if we do this or if we do that. But look at the schedule. Look at the amount of games that they won. They would have to wet the entire bed in order for Flus to get fired.
I'll say this
season.
Orlando, I think you hit the nail on here. It said minus significant injuries, they missed the playoffs. Flus has to be on. I think and we'll talk about in the local hour who has more pressure, but I think Flus will be the sacrificial lamb. And I don't even think the defense is going to save him. The defense saved him to have his job now. I don't think the defense is going to save because they're putting resources into the offense. This is a organization, whether right or wrong. I'm not saying I 100% agree with this. They in their head believe they're just one quarterback away from making that leap. I think
respectfully, y'all have been one quarterback over for 20.
And I agree that. I'm just saying what I feel that Ryan Poles thinking. So with that mindset, if they go into this and they miss the playoffs, I think he's out of there. Especially
but after one season though, and you're
gonna do that.
They're not gonna do.
They're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it.
Guys,
they're not gonna do it.
Of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting.
That's why I believe. That's why I keep saying I think Ryan Poles has learned from that mistake. Because if you don't learn from that, if that's the case, then you fire him this season and you wipe the slate clean. I truly believe that it's not going to be this year. It's going to be next year. Like 2026, that's the fire time.
If this one of those, okay, maybe they missed by a game, offense play well, defense play well, maybe. But if these niggas miss the playoffs and they like a couple games out.
But that's what I said. That's what I said. They would have to shit the bed. They would have to. They were 7-10.
To me, they missing the playoffs is shit in the bed. That's that.
Not for that front office, bro.
Not for that front office.
Like we've been saying, bro, because you said you can't keep continuing the same cycle. Right. So like it would have to be like last year we saw his coaches get fired. It would have to be damn near a team mutiny where people are fighting, showing up late, doing nut shit, and he clearly shows he just doesn't have control of the team.
It had to be
it would have to be a free fall in there. But no, bro, because you can't do it again. Like you giving him a nod, you giving him his pieces on the defense, and the defense, if he can keep that defense afloat, like you said, if they miss the playoffs by a game, bro, he's not going anywhere.
They're not going nowhere.
He's not going anywhere.
But if them niggas is 5 and whatever the shit is now, if they win less than 6 games, all right, we can have this conversation.
Okay, that's the question. So you feel like 6 games is the barometer to keep his job?
I think 6.
Fucking nasty, guys.
That shouldn't be it because that's less than less.
No, it's not.
No. Hear me out.
You're not rookie quarterback.
Hear me out. It's like Tay just said. It's the rookie quarterback. It's the you have to literally go in this season, and you're not gonna put that.
But I thought we put all the tools around him.
Even he was even
don't matter.
Well, Andrew Luck was supposed to be generational too. He went to the Pro Bowl. He went to the Pro Bowl. He did. No, he balled. And that's the goal here. That's the goal here. But if there's progress, they're not gonna fire this man, even if it's 6 games, because this is the NFL. Sometimes these games shake out in a weird ass way. If the Bears go 10-7. If they actually win those 3 games,
it's gotta be the way that they lose them games.
If they win those 3 games that we talked about, they lost in a minute and 30 combined. We're not even having a Justin conversation, let alone anything else. So that's why I say they would have to literally shit the bed in order for Flus to get fired. He might not get a contract extension, but he ain't getting fired.
But also, Pete Bears, we don't even know what Eberflus' contract situation is because they never put those fucking details out.
Because they will.
We don't know Ryan Poe's contract, situation.
Yeah, they would give a nigga. They would sneak a nigga extension, and then you would just find that shit out randomly.
So that
even his first contract, they like when they first originally signed.
When they got hired. No details. I don't think we ever got the details of the contract.
Flus got 2 more years on the deal, from what I thought. And Ryan Poe's I think he got a 5 or 6 year deal. But
they never released that shit. Like,
they
got hired, they never released.
Yeah, like that shit just trickled out. But yeah, they would have to shit the bed, and that's why even in this chat, I'm sitting there like, man, y'all know what these niggas' records was last year, right? But they were 7-10. They would literally have to be huff, and then go look at the schedule of the teams that they playing. None of them teams have really improved. Like, that's why I'm sitting here like, I'm chilling. Because none of the teams, like, even in the draft, because it ain't happened yet, but you're going to wait to the draft to improve, fam. Go look at the teams that the Bears play in 2025, and half of the teams that they play is either not improved through free agency as of yet, or they still in the same standstill. They can literally go 7-10 And still, Flus will be right there on the sideline saying all that improvement and hit shit. Because if that was the case, you fire him in the offseason.
Okay, well, I'll say
Poles
this.
have learned from not doing that shit.
Well, let's go to this next topic because I want to. I had this topic later on the rundown, but since we're still talking Bears, I want to get to the how to correctly manage expectations with Caleb Williams, because this is the thing, and this is why it's going to be an interesting conversation. Because look, we got to have a real moment right now as a fan base, and I'm really interested to see your opinion on this, Courtney, as an outsider. My thing is this: everybody, there's two sides to this. I feel like there's people who are realistic, and there's people who are upset Justin got traded and they want him to be Jesus Christ out the gate. And there's also another side of people who really think that this nigga, who are pro Caleb, been pro Caleb, and think he's just gonna be mashing out the fucking gate too. I'm not saying we need to have reasonable expectations. These are my personal expectations for Caleb Williams and the Bears next year. I don't have a win prediction, but they have to make the playoffs. Anything less than a 7th seed appearance is a failure in my personal record books. Before anybody says, well, the gentleman, fuck the front office. And Scott Lewis's personal record books, less than a 7th seed is a disappointment to me. As far as Caleb Williams, I don't really know what number I have in my head. I think, Dante, what you put in the chat a couple days is probably fair. I don't know if 4,000 yards might be a little crazy, but for me, if he's doing 3,500, if he throws 3,500 yards, I'm just assuming he's healthy majority of the season, and he throws for at least, like you said, the Andrew Luck numbers, 23 touchdowns. Andrew Luck had 18 picks. I think 18 is a little high for me. I need no higher than. Yeah, no higher than 15. 15 to me in today's era of throwing the football is the highest you can go for me. So anything higher than 15. So that, to me, that's a reasonable expectation. But even then, even if he comes out ripping shit, defenses are going to adjust. And they're going to learn how to. There was a period last season when CJ Stroud was kind of booty for about a month. But then he bounced back. So there's going to be, your expectations need to just be on what you want Caleb to be, and not because you're mad that Justin Fields got traded. Oh, he better be this, and y'all better keep the same energy with Justin. Y'all acting like people as soon as
sneak this. I
need to sneak this. Like what people do when Justin got drafted, you acting like people shitted on Justin from the gate. That ain't the fucking this franchise as a fan base was united when Justin got drafted. It's after years and years. We're going off 3 years of work. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're judging it off of. So I feel like people need to have, not realistic, because I do feel like they should be high. But I feel like if you're saying that nigga has to be Patrick Mahomes in year one, you just in your emotions, you're not really thinking rationally.
Because Patrick Mahomes.
I don't need Caleb Williams to be Patrick Mahomes. I need him to be better than CJ Stroud last season.
Ooh.
Well, CJ Stroud's
the way that people are talking. No. The way people are talking, Bears media, national media, the way that the hype behind Caleb Williams for the past year has been that.
Okay, so CJ Stroud, hold on. CJ Stroud threw for 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions.
5 picks. I said what I said. I said what I said.
Man, I disagree. With
that. That's more than reasonable.
That's reasonable.
No,
that's shooting them bail.
The 5 interceptions, he's gonna throw more than 5 picks.
No, that's shooting them bail. That's shooting them bail. If you being real,
5 picks,
brother. Reasonable left the station a long time ago. We're done being reasonable. Like, and it's not just. And it's not,
he got too many. I am not a Bears fan. I got to establish for the record, I am not a Chicago plant. I'm not from that city. But if Caleb Williams does not have a better season than CJ Stroud did last season, I'm sorry, he's getting all of this smoke.
I'm not saying he shouldn't get the
smoke.
I'm not saying he shouldn't get the smoke. He's going to get the smoke regardless of the Chicago. I don't think he should be thinking just because everybody else said. Everybody else can say a whole bunch of shit. That don't mean that's how he's going to come out and play.
Well,
I think everybody is setting themselves up.
But he's in such a great situation now in Chicago.
No.
Best situation ever.
A fucking rookie.
No, Scott.
So what?
I'm sorry.
Don't matter.
Scott, again, coming from the not half glass full guy. I'm sorry. The minute you got Keenan Allen is the minute things changed because you're going all in. You look at the weapons that the Bears come in with compared to the weapons that CJ Stroud came in with. They're better. They're better.
Yep.
I'm sorry. And this ain't even about him being generational and all that shit. Because at the end of the day, nobody was talking that generational shit when CJ Stroud got drafted. So anybody that talks anything about CJ Stroud to me, you kiss my ass. Why? Because none of y'all was talking that CJ Stroud shit. The only person I can remember in the national and the local media who was talking about CJ Stroud should have been the number 1 pick was Keyshawn Johnson, because he said he liked his quarterbacks big. Pause.
Yeah,
With that being said, fam, he's walking into, and I saw Lawrence Holmes say it. I said that shit first. He's walking into the best situation the last 5 number 1 picks got. They didn't have this shit. Joe Burrow did not have this shit. Kyler Murray didn't have this shit. Bryce Young definitely didn't have this shit. He's walking into the best situation. And matter of fact, we talked about Andrew Luck. It's probably the best situation since Andrew Luck. There's no number 1 pick that walks into a situation that comes in.
I'm not
with
disagreeing.
number one.
I think he's coming to the best situation
So
of them than any prospect in
so
sports.
you can't.
So
So
what
you
I'm
can't
saying is
use.
this though. I feel like y'all trying to say like I'm saying like, oh, I don't have high expectations.
No, I ain't saying that. What I'm saying
got
is
high
you can't
expectations. I
temper
just
your.
want-
No.
What I'm saying is you can't.
I'm not
You
moving
know
the
what I'm
goalpost.
saying?
You are
No,
though.
Scott, you are.
You definitely are.
Scott, you are.
100%
You
are.
can't
You
temper your
100% are.
Scott.
You
Scott, you
100%
can't temper your expectations here. The offense
I
is
disagree with that.
set.
That's bullshit. That's because
You
when
can't.
people
Not
doing that,
bullshit.
you're doing it out of
You
emotion.
temper your.
because
No,
you're
we're
mad
not.
at Justin.
We're
No,
not.
no, no, no,
Scott,
no.
stop.
It's
Hold on,
over.
Scott.
It's
Scott. We're not talking about people. Scott, we're not talking about people. You can have that people conversation on Twitter. You're talking to us 3. You can have that people
And that's what I'm
conversation.
saying. Like, I think that
No.
y'all keep saying what other people are saying.
No,
Other people ain't got
I didn't
nothing to
say-
do with what he's
no,
actually
Scott,
gonna do.
I never-
saying
Scott.
what I personally
Scott,
believe.
what I said is he's walking into the best situation out of the last 5 quarterbacks. And you go look, if you want to go look at any of them,
I
you
just
go
said
look
that
at.
it's the best situation in sports. Not
So
the quarterback.
you can't temper your expectations just because he's with the Bears, fam.
Correct.
You don't walk into a situation like this and expect him to just throw modest 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. No,
I ain't
I'm
said
not
that.
saying he's.
I didn't say that though.
I didn't
But
say
that's
that.
the way you frame
That's the
it.
way
I
you're
literally
framing it.
just said
That's the way you're
3,500
framing it, bro.
yards and 23 touchdowns and less than 15 interceptions. I
That's-
literally just said that.
So what are we talking about here? You're
I feel like-
saying that, and then at the same time you're tempering expectations.
No, I'm not. Give me your numbers.
You're talking
then.
out of
Give me your numbers.
both sides of your mouth right now,
No,
Scott.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying that we're having expectations like it's gonna be some Madden shit. I don't feel like
Nobody never said Madden shit though. Who?
Okay,
Never
well,
said. Nobody on here
brought up
said
CJ
Madden
Stroud.
shit.
She brought up numbers that
You
actually
gave
happened.
us CJ Stroud numbers.
Right. She gave us
I
numbers that
saw
actually
5
exist. He
interceptions.
actually
You think
did it.
he's throwing less than 5 interceptions? That's nuts.
No,
I'm
y'all
not
talking about this
asking
surge
him
and
to.
generational
That's
shit.
such a minute thing to pick on.
Right,
Even
that's
the
a minute-
general
right.
in
That's
reference
not
to that.
minute.
He has such a better. He is like J.R. Banks said. He's a much better situation in Chicago right now than he had in Houston. No one expected
Man,
CJ
he
Stroud
could-
to put up those
He
numbers.
could throw 3 interceptions.
But people are expecting high caliber production
Yes.
out of Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you asked for numbers. Hold on. He asked
Go
for numbers.
ahead.
I'm gonna give you numbers.
Give me
I
some
need
numbers.
3,800 yards.
Okay.
I need 30 touchdowns. I don't give a fuck if you're a rookie. I need 30 touchdowns with the weapons we have and 8 interceptions max.
And he could throw 3 interceptions off of somebody just catching the
Tipping the
ball
ball,
and
right,
dropping
right.
it and
And
tipping
That's
it.
why I
So
said 5
interceptions-
interceptions is crazy.
So
8 max.
So it's
I'm
not
trying to hear it.
crazy. It's not crazy, but it's not out the realm of possibility that he does not throw less than 5 interceptions, because interceptions in some cases can be a overrated stat. But at the same time, if you have the talent that you have, he's not going to put himself in a position where he's just going to be throwing recklessly because he's not going to have to.
Sometimes in USC.
No. But the most picks he's ever thrown in his life is 5.
Right, and he didn't have the
Most
talent.
pitches never
He
go-
was running for his life.
Didn't
He
go
was
10
running
to 10?
for his life. Like
He
that's
threw 5 his Heisman season. He threw 10 this year. If I'm not mistaken.
And he was
right now. He threw 5.
He
Okay,
right.
I'm wrong with
That's what I'm
that.
saying. And he was running for his life. Like he did not have the
Yeah,
talent.
I know that. Yeah.
So again, he's gonna be playing with better talent just for being in the NFL in the first place. That's why I keep saying, let's stop talking about the Bears like they was 3-14. They are a better team than people are talking about.
It's just
I'm not on the Bears.
they have the number 1 pick, so the optics tend to make people think that they have a worse. No, the Bears have a great situation here.
Great situation. So it's like that's
Mike.
Okay, so Dante, you get your numbers. Dante, you get your numbers. Go ahead, Dante.
No, I'm saying, but that's why the shit is sad. Like being said, all it takes is a couple clicks to see that the Bears were not the team that earned the number 1 pick. But nobody actually does any research. They just jump into it and say that, well, this team is ass. And it's like, nah, bro, if you look at it, we keep saying they were a minute and 35 seconds away from 10 wins. And then you've added more talent to the team. So this is a better team on paper than it was last year. So no, it's like before y'all get y'all numbers, ain't no excuses, bro. Like,
there ain't no excuses.
I'm not
trying to
saying
water it
no
down now.
excuses.
You said tempering expectations is excuses. Because first of all, if we make the playoffs, that's 10 wins.
What a number! But did I not just say? I literally just said in my personal record books they got to make the playoffs, and I needed 3,500 yards, at least 25 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions or less. That's really what I just said.
Interceptions is a lot.
I said or less.
A lot of picks, bro.
Because I feel like he got a gunslinger mentality. That's what I got.
He does not have
Scott.
He does not have a gunslinger mentality. My man was literally running for his life because the offensive line that he had was shoddy. I watched it too. That offense.
What I'm saying is, bro, and you're in the NFL. These are not the same cornerbacks you face in fucking college.
He's not playing with the same fam. The best wide receiver he played with was Jordan Addison and Brandon Rice.
Yeah.
So just like you said, them make the same cornerbacks. He's playing with 2 number 1s.
And I'm not saying I'm saying in general, I don't feel like this is fully rooted and you think Caleb should just do this. I still think it's fully rooted and niggas just mad Justin gone.
No, not at all, brother. I say this. Nobody mad no more.
But who, Scott, and my man Scott, I've never not once said that I was mad that Justin Fields was leaving. So my I'm saying
that y'all keep saying,
no,
he better do this.
No, I didn't say he better do. No,
he's walking on water.
Look, if we gonna talk about me, we gonna talk about what I said and not what nothing is assumed. I'm telling you that this kid has everything. That he has all of the talent that that needs to succeed first year. He has more talent than the person that went number 2 that we didn't even expect. That's what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is, and what I'm going to keep it at is this. The man has the talent. The man has the ability with the players that he has in front of him to have a successful season for the Bears. If you want me to give you the numbers, Scott, I got the same numbers you got. Except I don't have that many interceptions. But I'm also not tempering.
I'm not saying that he has. I'm saying that has to be the max.
But
that's throw more than that.
And here's the thing: that the max, I don't give a shit about those interceptions.
And also, Dante, you take your head. Dante, you sent the Andrew Luck with the 18.
No, I did. But I said the floor. Exactly, that's the floor.
So 18 interceptions is a lot.
No. I'm talking about. First of all, like we said, the interceptions that fluctuates. But for me, I'm talking about the positive numbers. I do have my interceptions lower than that, but in terms of his numbers, the floor, bro. But like, no, we can't shoot him bail now. We can't suddenly say, brother, they have talked about this man being generational for how many fucking years? Bang said before even everybody talked about it. Bang said it last year. He said, bro, they're doing this for next year's draft. So we've already called this out. You've already earmarked your quarterback for the past 2 years. Now you're about to get him. So no, bro, based off his talent, the Justin shit is over. I'm done with that. He's gone. I get it. No, it's no anger. It's no none of that. But you can't, run your victory lap on that. And then when we turn the focus to Caleb, it's suddenly, well, we got to shoot him some bail because he's a rookie.
I'm not shooting him some
bail.
I'm just telling you are, bro. Bro. That's not bail. That's reality.
He's a great rookie coming into a great situation.
Scott, being a rookie in this day and age in the NFL is a whole lot different than it was back in the day. And I'm not just saying that because of CJ Stroud. I'm also saying that because being a rookie is like you was expected to have a Peyton Manning rookie year. You was expected to take your bumps and bruises and all of that stuff. The way that the NFL is shaped right now, you can be a rookie quarterback and do these things. That's the main reason why they did the rookie contracts the way that they did it. So you could try to get most out of your quarterback now. And if that motherfucker huff, then we gonna send his ass in the merry way. If this was Sam Bradford, the Sam Bradford year when he got that money, then maybe the conversation's a whole bit different. But it's not. The NFL is set up right now for young quarterbacks to be successful, and that's why Jester had the pressure that he had on him. That's why everybody looking at Daniel Jones a bit crazy, and that's why everybody, even though he didn't have shit, that's why everybody was looking at Bryce Young crazy. He's walking into a different situation. So if he's walking into a different situation, then we got to stop talking like this is 1995 and we just started a backup quarterback for 6 games, and then we tried out the rookie. No, 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 5 to 10 interceptions. If we had that this year, we go to the playoffs. If we had that this year, we don't even have a conversation. We are in the playoffs. So it's more than reasonable to expect those numbers, Scott, that you just said. More than reasonable to expect that the defense will improve under a full year of Eberflus calling the plays and different coaches coming in. Washington is expected to upgrade that defensive line. He's not expected to just tread water. Shane Waldron, along with the players that we have, is expected to do these things. They here to win now. I ain't saying win a Super Bowl, but they here to go after the North today. So I'm not about to temper my expectations because I'm like, oh, he's a rookie. No, the main reason why they doing that shit is do all that shit that motherfucker Poles was talking about in his first press conference. We're going to take the North. All right, take this shit this year.
And real quick, America, shout out to Scott because we've turned over a new leaf. I have never seen this man shoot so much bail to a black quarterback before.
Man,
we are proud of you, Scott. Everybody clap it up for my boy Scott. This is a good time today on the show.
Look, I think we're all saying the same thing but different ways. What I'm saying is this, bro. I'm not shooting anybody bail. I'm just having the literal thing. He is a rookie. It's like babies fuck shit up. He is a fucking rookie. And my expectations ain't low. My nigga, they not. I just told you, playoffs.
Well, stop saying that he a rookie shit, Scott.
Yeah,
he is a rookie. Is that not true?
Bill shot.
He's not.
That's the Bill shot.
That's not a Bill shot.
Give me a second,
That's
guys.
a
Bill, bro.
Again,
That's
he's
the Bill
not
shot. He's
just
just a
any
rookie.
rookie.
One sound, one voice.
He's not just any rookie, Scott.
He's
right.
Because don't know rookie come into this situation.
I agree. Look, that's what I'm saying. We going in circles.
This is not a normal rookie
he
situation.
has the best situation of any.
So stop. No, what we're telling, we know that. What we telling you is stop saying that he just a rookie shit.
Correct.
Ain't no rookie coming to a situation. Ain't no rookie coming to a situation like this. Stop protecting him. It don't matter. Yeah, you are. He just, remember, he's just a rookie. Nigga, no. And I'm black, fam. We know that. We know that.
I feel like there's going to be a world. I feel like there's going to be a world where he finishes with like 27 touchdowns, 3,500 yards, and like 8 picks. Niggas like, no, that shit ain't enough.
It's not. Not with the team he got. It's not enough.
27 touchdowns ain't enough.
No, you said, I thought you said 2,700. I thought you said the yards.
I said
I was about to say, nigga, you tripping.
No, hell no.
Again, I'm gonna need about 4,000 yards.
But see, Scott, again.
8 interceptions
Wait
and
a
a playoff.
Hold on, Courtney, I got you. Wait a minute, Courtney, Dante, I got y'all. The same nigga that came on this show on Friday shitting on fans for not letting the national media do their job is the same nigga that's coming on here talking about some, well, I got a feeling that people just gon' fuck them.
That's not, now you want a whole nother area and shit.
Fuck them.
You know how Bears fans are, nigga.
Fuck
that's gonna be the first thing, bro.
Fam, fuck, and you know what I'm gonna say. Fuck them. Because they wasn't gonna be that. They was gonna not be behind him in the first place. So why are we worried about folks? So why are we worried about people that's going to shit on this man no matter what he do in the first place? Remember what I said a couple of weeks ago? Light skin with no lining is still buddy ass, and he's still buddy ass. That nigga could go to the club after the game after throwing 4 touchdowns. Folks still gonna be like, man, he's still buddy ass. But he threw for 4 touchdowns and beat the damn Green Bay Packers. He's going to have to win a Super Bowl to win over people who was in love with Justin Fields for rushing for 1,000 yards and damn near beating Michael Vick record, but only threw over 300 yards once. That's the people he got to win over. We really gonna have this conversation?
No, but I hear you, but I'm talking about as a whole, bro. Like that's gonna be part of it. It has nothing to do with people actually giving a fuck about what Caleb is gonna do. That's really what it comes down to. But we've been talking about this for 20 minutes. I had to cut 2 topics from this. So let's go to one last thing. We got one last topic, then we're going to go to the baseball segment, man. One last Justin Fields. Let's actually talk about the Pittsburgh situation, though. Let's talk about Pittsburgh with the situation they've got over there. So, of course, we all know they signed Russell Wilson for like last week, I think it was, pick him up on the waiver wire. And, of course, they traded for Justin. Now, Mike Tomlin called Justin Fields and said that Russ is going to be the starter. You're going to sit behind him. You're going to learn from him. And basically, there's no guarantee about whether or not Justin's going to play. My personal opinion, I don't think Russell Wilson was a fan of that, to be fully honest. I think one thing we've heard about Russell Wilson, his teammates don't really like him. I don't think we heard that many good things from coaches either. We've seen this in Seattle, and we saw that in Denver. So I believe he's not happy about Justin Fields being behind him. I think Justin Fields is somebody who a lot of people in the locker room like him, and I wouldn't shock me if this locker room in Pittsburgh gravitates towards Justin more than they do Russell Wilson, and that could create kind of a animosity from Russell's part. He might not 100% show it, but I don't believe this is something where he is actually planning on teaching Justin anything. And I do believe that Mike Tomlin will give him every opportunity. I think they're going to, unless he actually gets hurt, I don't see any way that he hits the field. Like, I don't think that Russell will be trash. He wasn't trash last year. If it was anything, there was other reasons for why Denver was bad. I don't think it was mainly Russell Wilson more than anything. But I do think this situation is a good situation for Justin. We've also heard the Sports Illustrated report that Justin, that they were trying to they're going to give Russell Wilson a long-term extension. But at the end of the season, I don't think he will play well enough to get like a long-term extension. But I do believe that unlike some other situations in the league, this is probably the door is somewhat cracked for Justin to be able to go out there and play and try to build something over there in Pittsburgh, man. Courtney, what do you think about the new situation over there? Do you think this is something that Justin can learn, or what are the chances do you think that we see him on the field next year?
I think the chances are relatively high of seeing him play. I don't know how much Russ has left in the tank, to be completely honest. And I say that as a light-skinned quarterback enthusiast. I don't know. I got to see how Russell plays, obviously. I also know that even though I like him and I think he's a genuine person, I do know that maybe Russ's personality doesn't like mesh with everybody. Wasn't there some shit about like Marshawn Lynch not even wanting to they didn't even have each other's number, right? In Seattle, Russ called him like on a private number to make sure that he didn't have his number. So yeah, it's entirely possible that it could start some kind of weird quarterback controversy in the locker room. But honestly, I don't know if that'll be the case. I feel like Justin's probably going into this with the mindset that this is a fresh start for him. And I'm happy for the guy. I need to cop some Justin Fields. Y'all have turned me into a Justin Fields fan. I am so vehemently anti-Bears now that I have become a Justin Fields fan. So congratulations. Well done, guys. Team effort.
We love it.
Go ahead, Dante.
I think it's a great situation. I think for Pittsburgh overall, took a flyer on Russ. It was cheap. And if he can show some of that old Russ, then you'll definitely take that. But I think the whole long-term contract, that doesn't make sense with the trade for Justin Fields. I think this is definitely a situation where you try to get the most out of you can for Russ, but I also think trading for Justin lets me know they don't think Russ has that much left. Like they realize that this is a flyer. So you feel me? You have Justin as a backup who can go in there and make some plays and get shit done. And we haven't seen how they're gonna pick up Justin's option. Have they said anything about that yet?
They got till May to decide that.
So. They got till May to decide on that, but I think for him, it's a
Is it like
25
$25
million.
mil?
5 million.
I
So
mean,
still cheap for a quarterback.
Jones up there making $40 million, man.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sure
still
they'll
cheap for a
pick up the
quarterback.
option. I'm pretty sure they'll pick up the. I don't think they'd have did a trade. They weren't going to pick
And
that up.
I think he plays this year. I think he plays this year because I don't think Russ is going to do too well. I don't know if he'll get to the 51% of the snaps we need to get that 4th round pick.
Mhm.
But I do think at some point Justin Fields takes the field for the Steelers as the starter. He probably finished the season as a starter for the Steelers.
Bang, what you think about what's going on in Steel City?
See, man, this is why I be not having conversations with folks, not y'all, but I don't be having conversations with folks because folks talk out of both sides of their ass. If you believe in Mike Tomlin and his coaching strategy, then Russell gonna be okay. If you believe in it. Everybody keeps saying how this is the best organization and the best coaching staff. No, it's the best head coach. But Matt Canada was the offensive coordinator for part of that year, and they wanted his ass up out of there. But Mike Tomlin was very loyal to this man, and he kept him until he couldn't keep him no more. They hired Arthur Smith. Now, Arthur Smith, you know, he was fairly decent in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. He went to Atlanta and he shit the bed. He didn't even know how to use the pieces that he had. No, Kyle Pitts didn't even exist in this man's joint. Bijan Robinson, he was on and off because of the plays that was getting called by who? Arthur Smith. Same Arthur Smith, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We keep talking like Mike Tomlin coaches offense. He does not. Because if Mike Tomlin coached offense, then they wouldn't even need Russell Wilson or Justin Fields because Kenny Pickett would be a fairly decent quarterback and would have had way more success than he had, even though they won 10 games or he's never had a losing season. So if we're going to say all of this about Mike Tomlin and his coaching strategy and all of that stuff, then you have to say this. I don't see Justin getting on the field if we believe in Mike Tomlin and the coaching staff. You will literally have to say, nah, I don't necessarily believe in all of those folks because Russell Wilson is still a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback. He had a fairly decent year considering what he was dealing with and going through with the Broncos and stuff. And it seems like the offense caters to him that's going to be with the Steelers organization. So he's going to have all of the tools to be successful, not one but two running backs. He got George Pickens over there. They need another wide receiver to take that place, but they always find a wide receiver with the Steelers that do well. So he will also have everything in place. So, you know, unless we don't believe in that offensive strategy that they have, that's when we feel like, okay, Russell is too washed to deal with what's going on in Pittsburgh. I don't think that's the case. I think that Russell finds himself in a perfect situation. And I'm not so sure that Justin is going to get the tutelage that he needs to. Because this is also the same Russ that was like, yo, I think I could win 2 Super Bowls in the next 4 years. If he believes that, you think he about to teach his replacement? Hell no.
Right. And I'll say this, 2 things. One, if anybody thinks we got like Mikey on punishment because you see him in the chat, no, he's on the bench a little bit right now. He ain't feeling well. Hopefully he'll be joining us in a local while. It looks like he will be joining us in a local while. But I want you, Bang. Like I don't think the only way I see Justin hitting the field this year is if Russ gets hurt. And Russ has been pretty durable his entire career. So I don't think that'll be, I don't think like even Russ, as bad as he played 2 years ago, like Mike Tomlin in this organization, they stick with their plan. And if their plan is for him to sit behind him, they're going to give him every opportunity to do that. Like I don't even last year, they didn't even bench Kenny Pickett. Like they were going to keep Kenny Pickett this year if he didn't demand to get out. So they're going to stick to their plan. He says, I look forward to seeing just the playoffs. And that's another thing. I think this team is going to be, I don't think it's going to be a good team. And right now, they're gonna finish last in the division. Baltimore's better than them. Cincinnati's better than them. Cleveland's better than them. I don't think this is a good roster. I'm not saying they can't. They might be able to make the playoffs with a healthy Joe Burrow. I don't think they will.
Freaky Sean turns back into Deshaun
Well, see,
Watson.
that's the thing. He don't got to because he wasn't that last year. They still made the playoffs. I think Jameis is a solid backup. They got a great coaching staff. They got great defense. They got a solid running game. So just off that, I think Cleveland is still a better team. I don't think Freaky Sean gonna be good either. But I'm not putting Pittsburgh in the playoffs. I don't believe Russell Wilson like that. But
I'm just saying that those two teams can fight for third place. I don't think it's that cut and dry that they're the worst team in the AFC North.
We gonna see. Let's move on to our baseball, man. We got some baseball coverage. We are 10 days away from the start of the MLB season. The defending champion Houston Astros be defending their World Series title, and that's what we've got, the one and only Courtney Collarbro here. We're gonna do some awards and previews for this season. Courtney, the floor is yours. You were on mute.
My bad.
There we go.
I was trying to stifle in the rage so I didn't, tweak on nobody. We were talking about Justin Fields again. But no, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we all thought. My predictions included of who we're going to win the major awards this season. I'm not going to get too deep. Manager of the year, all that. And I know that there's still a couple of unsettled questions and question marks of who's going to end up where. A couple of Scott Boris's clients currently being colluded against by Major League Baseball, allegedly. But for Cy Young, American League Cy Young and NL Cy Young, those are the first two things that I wanted to touch on. Now, my National League Cy Young pick for this season isn't particularly sexy, nor is it like that much of a surprise. I do think Spencer Strider will win the National League Cy Young this year. In 2023, he started 32 games, and he had a 2.85 FIP, 5.5 F4, 36.8 K percentage, and a 7.6 walk percentage. And he was in the 90th percentile for just about every major category in 2023. And I think he is going to have to put this Braves rotation on his back, and I think that he'll do so this year. Now, as far as we can get into the nitty-gritty of if that's going to propel them into the World Series, but I digress. As far as the regular season, I do think Spencer Strider is a lock for the Cy Young. What do you think, Dante?
Actually, I agree. Spencer, I think he's going to have a great year. I know he added a curveball this season that he's going to be playing around with because his slider's already money. And I think he's actually realized that, his fastball is dominant, but he has to actually pitch. I think sometimes he goes out there, he gets a little too amped up, and he tries to just blow past everybody. And, one thing we always say, everybody in the major leagues can hit a fastball. So with Spencer, when he's on, he's been dominant. But, when he has got touched up a little bit, it's been rough. So I got Spencer in the National League. I think Zach Wheeler he's going to be really good this year. I know Philly is always a team that linger around with that wild card. And I know a lot of people try to forget about him, but I do believe that Wheeler is he'll probably finish top 3. So, but right now in the National League, I got to go Strider. I think it's Spencer's to lose.
Now AL Cy Young, I actually want to get your opinion on this first, just because my pick, I have two, right? One is more obvious, and then I have my sort of dark horse. But I want to get your thoughts first, Dante. American League Cy Young, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to take it to the worst division in the American League, the AL Central. I'm going to go with Pablo Lopez. I think he's going to get it done. He's going to rack up a lot of easy stats against that division. I know you are in love with the Kansas City Royals, but outside of the Royals, that division is really shitty. Last year he had 194 innings pitched, 234 strikeouts, 1.15 whip. And I do believe that the Twins are going to take that division rather easily. I know you got the Royals, but I think with Pablo anchoring in that rotation, I do think he's going to come out with the American League Cy Young this year.
See, so I'm glad that I am not. So I really thought you were going to say like Corbin Burns, which is like, again, my more popular. That's my more popular of the picks that I was referring to. But my dark horse for this season for American League Cy Young is Tarek Skubal. I know. Hear me out.
Okay. Yeah,
I know. Hear me out. So guys got 5 great pitches, nasty off-speed stuff. Last season, he only started 15 games. So again, the sample size is relatively small, especially when compared to Spencer Strider. That man had a 2.00 FIP, 3.3 F4, 32.9 K percentage, 4.5 walk percentage. Again, it's a dark horse type shit. But like, I think given, again, not a great division, I think that the possibility is there. Also, Cole Raggins isn't, again, that's just me really, really buying into the Kansas City Royals. I think that I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. Pablo Lopez also, but I like our logic, same logic that they were both feasts in that division.
Yeah, so it's like it's been damn near 10 years running now, but that's easily the worst division in baseball. Like, I don't know when it's gonna get better.
All right, moving on. American League MVP and NL MVP. I don't want to get sorry. I feel like sometimes I get so obsessive over baseball stats that I just be
no. Cook, go ahead. I'm enjoying this.
I don't want people's eyes to glaze over.
No, I'm taking notes.
I'm kind of based off the eye test a little bit. If that's your, I really like FIP though as a metric for pitchers because I don't know if y'all are familiar with FIP, but it takes. Especially Bang, since you like baseball, but you're trying to get back into it. FIP is, in my opinion,
we put together a manual how to get Bang into the season this year.
Well,
like we get it
MLB the show. I mean,
like a step-by-step manual.
Matter of fact, hold on, I got something for you, Bang. 1 second.
Let's go.
Go ahead, Courtney. Go ahead while we wait for Don.
Yeah, for sure. So for AL MVP, I do think that Juan Soto. I know
that nigga.
It's not the sexiest pick in the world, but lefty, that porch in New York, I think he's going to thrive. Couple that with the fact that it is a contract year for my guy, and he's trying to get paid. And I don't blame him. He's been passed around like a blunt. It's time for him to settle down and get paid by a team that deserves him. I think he's gonna win AL MVP. Alternatively, NL MVP, he's just switching over divisions. I think Shohei Ohtani is going to have a monster season in Dodger blue, and Julio Rodriguez was my second for AL MVP as well. But no, I had to go with my man Juan Soto because he's trying to make them big bucks.
Hey, Courtney, before you go, guess what? Guess what? I did have Juan Soto too. So y'all know I did live in the DC area. You know what I'm saying? The Nationals.
I know some of these words.
I'm very well aware. I know some of these words. I'm very well aware. But no, I think that in this situation with the Yankees, and plus saddled by the fact that he wants more money and he's trying to elevate it, I do see Juan Soto having a major year for the Yankees. I don't know if it's going to get them anywhere. But I'm also looking at Crosstown, and I'm looking at the Mets, who's probably going to do anything and everything in their power to offer him whatever he wants, as long as he performs. So I do have Juan Soto in the American League. In the National League, anything Braves related, I'm just going to run. So I don't see how my man can't repeat. He's the best player in baseball. As long as Buddy ass stay healthy, he's going to be straight. So I think I agree that those are my AL and NL MVPs. I can't tell y'all nothing about Cy Young or Rookie of the Year and shit. I can give y'all that.
And I'm going to make you fall deeply in love with field independent pitching. I got two.
AL Shohei Ohtani will be the MVP. No, I mean NL.
Okay, we're all still getting used to it. We're all
still getting used to it. Shohei Ohtani will be the MVP in the NL, and I'm actually going. The good thing about baseball, it doesn't matter about your record because I'm not high on the Mariners as a team, but I'm going Julio for the American League as well. If he can stay healthy, I'm going Julio.
And Courtney,
you might have to hear me out right now. Mitch Garver is going to have a sneaky good season in Seattle. Sneaky good season in Seattle.
There's a 72% chance Scott don't know who that is.
That's
I know he's fucking Michigan.
He white.
72%.
He white.
Yeah.
He played first base, right?
Yeah, but check this out. My AL.
He played first base, right?
What'd you say?
He played first base, right?
Mitch Garver? No, he's a DH. He was a catcher for the Twins. He's had some injuries, so he converted to DH when he came over for the Rangers. Obviously won a World Series with the Rangers last year. Now he's with the Mariners as their DH.
Yeah, but real quick, my two. American League, if Courtney, if your prediction turns out true and the Kansas City Royals win the AL Central, I think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to win MVP. I have that much faith in the kid. I think he's going to be really good. We always talk about looking for these breakout stars, and I know the holiday kids have everybody's attention right now, but Bobby's gonna be a star. Like, he's nice. Soto, like you said, that's the sexy pick. I do think that lineup, if Aaron Judge can stay healthy, like that is the issue. If he can stay in the lineup, he's never had this much protection. I think they're gonna slide him down. They say he's gonna be the 2 slot, right? Is he 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
he's gonna be
so
I think DJ LeMahieu, if I were Aaron Boone, I'd set the lineup with LeMahieu 1, Judge 2, Soto 3.
Yeah. So he'll have more RBR opportunities than he did in that leadoff spot. So I think his numbers will pop enough, especially his like a percentage, OPS, everything like that. So but no, I think American League Bobby Witt. National League, I'm not gonna say it's the easy pick to try to pick Ronnie or Shohei or somebody like that, but I think somebody on the Dodgers who can win MVP is Freddie Freeman. Like, Freddie's somebody who, he's been consistent, and now with the way that lineup is already loaded, now you add Shohei into it. I think he's going to be his regular, amazing self. I think I was talking to somebody. I think he's had an OPS plus over 130 for the past 10 or 12 years straight. So like, he's just a machine. So I think Freddie's going to have.
The problem with that Dodgers lineup is they just have such a wealth of resources in that lineup. It's how do you pick out of a bunch of guys who all have very similar stat lines, right? I think with all their guys, is probably going to end up being home runs.
And then votes might cross each other out.
Yep.
So easy for somebody to jump in there.
Acuna's got to stay healthy. That's really my only. I worry about
them knees.
Healthy. We're already hearing he's got freaking meniscus issues. Yeah. The knees, man.
You know why though, right? He doesn't take time off. Everybody rests. He plays. He plays year round. So like,
well, hey, listen, when your team sat up there and only paid you goddamn packing peanuts for the next 10 years of your career, Alex ain't seeing heaven. He ain't seeing heaven, but it's fine. Okay. It's fine. Moving on, rookie of the year. So I saw someone in the chat drop some predictions, but I didn't see.
My man Ross. Shouts out to my man Ross.
I didn't actually get a chance to see. I saw a couple of names.
Hold on, there we go.
Here we go. Paul Skeens and Jackson Holiday or Langford. And listen, as a Rangers fan, don't let the hat fool you. As a self-proclaimed Rangers fan, I would love to be all in on Wyatt Langford. Problem is, I don't know how many of these guys, like Jackson Holiday and Langford, are going to break, with the club and join them on opening day. So I just worry about how much playing time they're going to get throughout the season. For AL Rookie of the Year, and again, it's not the sexiest pick in the world, but it's actually the first baseman in Anaheim, Nolan Schanuel. I think he's going to have a monster season. He is going to start the season in Anaheim. He's not going to be in AAA. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there for Nolan Schanuel to actually end up winning Rookie of the Year. Now, hear me out. If Wyatt Langford does actually end up getting that DH job for the Rangers, and he throws up monster numbers like he has been doing, then that could be interesting as well. But that is my pick for AL Rookie of the Year. NL Rookie of the Year, I know it's a little controversial simply because a pitcher has not won Rookie of the Year since 2014? When did Jacob deGrom win NL Rookie of the Year? Was that 2014?
I want to say 2014, 2013 or 14.
So yeah, I got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I got Yamamoto, man, especially because they're good. The Dodgers are going to rely on that man for a lot of innings. And God willing, he stays healthy. But I got Yamamoto winning National League Rookie of the Year. I know it's crazy. But he's don't really win that award.
But I agree. I got the same. I got Yamamoto. American League, I got a Ranger, but it's not wide. It's Evan Carter.
Evan Carter. That's not a bad guess.
Yeah, I know it's not too too crazy, but I think Evan Carter he can come out with Rookie of the Year, especially after what we saw him doing the playoffs. I think he's gonna start, right?
Evan Carter, yeah.
We won't have to worry about him getting his ABs. Obviously he'll take his rookie lumps, but I think overall Evan Carter, he's gonna take it home for the American League and National League. Yeah, Yamamoto. I think like that Dodgers team is going to be must-see TV, and like for anybody that's like baseball casual, that's the team for you to watch.
Correct. If you're new to baseball and you're just even trying to like learn the finer nuances of the game, the broadcast team in LA is just absolutely fantastic. Joe Davis and his research team does incredible work. Oral Hershiser, they're just a delight to listen to. Like even if you don't really like baseball, it's really, really good entertainment. Highly recommend their broadcasts. But yeah, that's gonna be good baseball. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right, we do plan on getting back into the divisional talk. We were kind of working out how we want to cover the divisions, but I do want to move.
It's coming to the Patreon, the Patreon. So
Yeah. Pay to play, guys.
Patreon.
So sorry, but that's when I'm gonna get real intimate with y'all up in there. Okay, we're gonna be talking some real sexy stats up in the Patreon.
Hey, don't rile up Orlando, please. Do not rile up Orlando. Don't you do it.
You gonna like drop the link.
But yeah, so I did though want to talk about just ALCS, NLCS matchups, and then of course who we think is going to play in the World Series and win the World Series, right? So for the ALCS, and I hate to say it, I really do. I do think we are going to get, because they always seem to piece it together, especially in what could be the last year of having the core squad in Houston. I do think that the Astros will be in the ALCS this year again, and I do think that they will be playing New York. Now, again, this is all barring New York's rotation, figuring it out, and same with Houston as well. Big people got to be healthy. And keep in mind, this is also not knowing at this point where Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell are going to end up, right? Because that's a lot of innings that could greatly increase someone's chance of making it that far. But yeah, I got Houston versus New York in the ALCS with Houston in 6. What do you think, Dante? What's your prediction? You're muted.
I like Houston a lot. I know a lot of people feel like that's a safe bet, but I mean, it's kind of hard to call it safe to get to the NLCS because, baseball, 162 games is a full grind. I'm going to go with the Yankees, though. I do think they get it done because I also think that Steinbrenner's going to buckle and sign one of the pitchers. He'll bring one of those guys in there, one of those boys' clients, because especially with the injury to Garrett Cole, I really hate that happen because I do expect big things out of the Yankees this year, but I think they'll end up in the ALCS, and I have them playing the Texas Rangers. I do think the Rangers are going to get really close to defending their title, but I think the New York Yankees are going to go back to the World Series. I think that World Series drought in the Bronx is about to end. And like I said, I think that's based off the fact that I do think they're going to go add more pitching. But that offense is going to be a problem. I think Soto, whether he stays or not, he's going to show you why he is a box office player. So I got the Yankees.
Like the idea of the New York Yankees being good again makes me fucking sick to my stomach. Do you understand?
That's the problem. It's always the idea of the Yankees and not the actual Yankees.
Like I hear you on that as a baseball fan, but as a baseball player,
the fans are just insufferable. The media around the Yankees.
I'm about to say, Courtney, what's your actual beef with the Yankees? Do you have an actual beef with them, or just because they're the Yankees?
Fucking Yankees, bro. Okay, their fans don't. I'm sorry.
Their fans are worse people.
As far as major cities that I can't stand their fans. New York is by far number one. Now, I know I'm probably going to get some fucking death threats. Please don't sue me. Don't poison my fucking slices whenever I come up there. I promise you I won't wear that shit when I'm in the city. I'm not disrespectful. But, like, the way that they treat players on, like, listen, there's boo birds across all cities everywhere. I've seen it firsthand. I've worked for countless sports teams. They all exist. But New York – people are a special kind of fucking evil when like someone isn't playing well. It's nasty. Watching a Yankees game on God forbid they're down like 5-1 in the middle of fucking July, right? It's nasty, and I can't stand it. Anyway, I nothing but thumbs down for the Yankees and the Mets. Baseball's more fun when they're both bad for me. Yeah, I wish nothing but bad things for.
You sound like Ken Griffey Jr.
Who? Wait, what'd you say?
I said you sound like Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh yeah, fuck New York. Fuck New York. Send me. I'll go anywhere but New York.
The views and thoughts of Courtney's view on New York have nothing to do with Scott Lewis. I love New York, and I will be back in June. I love New York.
Please don't rob him on the subway.
Please do not rob me on the subway. I
can't vibe with that subway shit either. But that's just me. I'm so sorry. I'm not going underground to get to where I gotta go. If I can't walk there or get there in an Uber,
that's a very Dallas, Texas response.
I'm so sorry.
That was a very Texas statement.
That was a very.
I can live with that. Hey, listen. I wish we had adequate public transportation. I just wish I didn't have to go underground, to get to it. I'm liberal like that. public transportation's cool, but not underground. And then big ass rats.
The chat is
turn it up. All right,
Red Sox. What the fuck?
No, I'm gonna call B-Dot out. No, B-Dot don't.
You a Packer fan and a Red Sox fan?
Yeah, nasty. Well, he from Bama ass Jersey, nigga. Like, of course he ain't rooting for nobody else.
I thought he's from Charlotte. My bad.
that nigga from Jersey, nigga. Talking about the
moving on to the NLCS. This one's probably it's a lot of people's predictions. I'd say I do have the Dodgers versus the Braves. Now this one is tough for me because the Dodgers rotation still has question marks, but honestly, so does the Braves. But they got people in the wings, you know. Whereas the Dodgers, I don't really know if they have that, but because I am a ceaseless optimist, and I know one person can't make a huge difference, but they just paid someone $700 million American dollars. Okay, and that someone is one of the greatest baseball players that we've ever seen in our entire lives. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, B-Dot. I got okay. That's even worse. You from Bama ass North Carolina, nigga. Y'all niggas still use payphones. But anyway.
Damn, what's wrong with you? It's crazy. I do have the Dodgers beating the Braves in 7, which sets the stage for the matchup of all matchups. The rematch that we have all been waiting for, sans banging trash cans. I have Houston and the Dodgers in the World Series this year. And I got Dodgers getting their fucking lick back, okay, for 2017 and winning in 7.
Okay.
I know.
I like that.
I know.
I like that a lot.
I listen, must-see TV. Like,
we love storylines. We love a good storyline.
I love a good storyline.
Yeah. But no, like, I agree 100% on the NLCS. That's a given. The two best teams.
Yeah, I don't trust Philly.
Yeah, I don't trust Philly this time. And I actually am picking the Braves to beat the Dodgers. And the reason being is Max Fried and Chris Sale. I think Chris Sale is going to – last year he really extended himself.
By like mid-May?
No, I don't. I do not. Even though the Braves have people, like you said, the Braves have pitchers in the wings just in case that does happen. But I think Sale is going to be a big part of their rotation. Ronaldo Lopez. He was named the 5th starter. I know a lot of White Sox fans know that name. He's been solid. So, you know, having him as a 5th starter and also somebody that you can put into the bullpen and stretch when necessary, I think that's going to come up. So I got them beating the Dodgers in 6 games in the NLCS. And so that would make my World Series matchup the Braves versus the Yankees. That's going to be a great series. I think, you know, they usually come down here once a year.
1995 again?
Yeah. I'm going to say they come down and take over the Battery once a year. So that'll be a great series. But I got
Yankees fans.
I got the Yankees winning the World Series.
That's why I said B-Dot's not a fucking Red Sox fan. He didn't know that Chris Sale went on the Red Sox no more.
No, I have the New York Yankees returning to glory and winning the World Series in 6 games.
My pick is
both of you to think Garrett Cole won't need Tommy John surgery.
Hey, but that's what. But no. I think they're gonna call Scott Boras. They're gonna go crawling to him like, "Hey, bro, I know we've been talking crazy, but hey, let me holler at Blake. They might get Blake and Jordan. Shit, they got the money to do it.
Well, but the Yankees already fumbled the Jordan Montgomery bag, so I don't know. I don't know about that one. But Blake Snell is probably more believable to me. But I still think that Blake Snell will probably end up in Houston. I think that they're going to pony up that money. Well, especially now, I know it makes me sick to my stomach too. But in light of that news about Jose Urquidy, I don't know if they're going to have the pitching that they even need to stay competitive until they get Lance McCullers back mid-season. I don't know. Right. I think they're going to have to pony up. And Blake Snell wanted what? 2. There's the rumor mill is saying that he wanted like 2 years.
2 years, 66 or something like that.
60-something. Y'all better give him. He's a fucking 2-time NL Cy Young winner. If y'all don't pay that man the $33 million goddamn dollars now listen, I understand the hesitation. I really do. His walk percentage has increased year by year that he's been in the league. I know the inning count. That man's going to give you about 180 pitches, 180 innings pitched this year. Go pay the man his money, Jim Crane. Go pay him.
You know, so the problem I have about MLB offseason is why is it we're 10 days away from the start of the season and 2 of the best pitchers on the market still aren't signed? Like, I know you Like there needs to be like they're never gonna do this, but there needs to be like a deadline. Like you have to pay these people.
Well, never say. Listen,
Especially
never say
baseball
never.
would never do that, but
The players won't
never
allow
say
it.
never. Rob Manfred has one more CBA left under his tenure, and let me tell you, I would not be shocked if that was something that tried to come up in the next negotiations.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
a fan, that shit is annoying.
It is. But no, real quick, for anybody, that's trying to learn some of these terms that Courtney and I throw around, we got this book right here, Smart Baseball.
Smart
Real
baseball.
quick, got everything locked in there, everything you need. I know people don't read a lot these days, but if you do, just get the book. It's like $12.
So good.
Well
Keith
worth
Law
it.
is also one of the best in the biz. So smart.
Yeah.
Follow him on Twitter. Very, very insightful follows. And also not even trying to be funny. I love talking about baseball and teaching people about baseball because I think it's honestly just like the best sport in the world. And it's probably my favorite fucking thing in the world. So hit my DMs, hit my mentions, ask me, what the fuck is FIP, Courtney? What is F war versus B war? Hit my line. I'm happy to talk to you about it. Would love to.
Yes. I am not. So hit Courtney, please.
I would say this: my World Series pick is strictly just to annoy Courtney, so I'm going with the streets want to see. New York City in one corner, Los Angeles, California in the other corner. Let's get two of the most unbearable fan bases in one, and that's what everybody.
I'm
wants
sorry,
to see.
no NL team is more unbearable than the people that do the fucking corny ass tomahawk chop, bro. That shit's so dead. That shit's dead.
No comment.
That's racist.
It
But
is.
Dodger fans are unbearable. Dodger fans are unbearable. If you like, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the Dodgers play the Yankees. Somebody getting stabbed in Chavez Ravine. Like,
That let's go. Stay out of
100%.
it. You are from New York. I'm gonna put it out there right now. If you are from New York, do not sit in the pavilions. You do not belong out there. That is not for you. You need to go sit somewhere lower. Do not go to sit in the pavilions. That is not for you. Stay out of left field and right field pavilion. Thank you. Trust me.
That would be. Could you imagine like that? That's the hype we needed for that series. You got to bring Bob Costas back to do like one of them montages.
I'm telling you, Astros, Dodgers would do insane numbers.
It would, but it wouldn't do more than Yankees, Dodgers. Like Yankees, Dodgers
with the Shohei effect.
Yeah, with the Shohei effect, Mookie, Judge, Soto. That's doing NBA Finals.
It's gonna be elite stuff. Also, related note, my second guess, besides for a AL MVP after Juan Soto, was actually Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah, Yordan is a problem. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
It doesn't matter who's in the World Series because the Dodgers are winning it. The Dodgers winning the championship. They're gonna get rid of that intramural championship they won a couple years ago.
Hey,
it's gonna be an actual parade.
It was hard to win in the bubble. Okay?
It was cardboard cutouts there. In my 10 years of Los Angeles, I've seen one parade. That was the Rams. They're gonna get rid of that intramural championship. There's gonna be a party.
This is 2020 erasure, and I won't stand for it.
We need to erase everything from 2020. Literally everything from that year needs to be erased. So that's what I'm going to. And Orlando, you're right. Mexicans do not play about Dodgers. Like, nigga, there's gonna be motherfuckers in Chavez Ravine pre-gaming. Like, nigga.
Like, someone literally died. A Dodgers fan died at that park. Do not fuck with those fans.
There's gonna be a New Yorker who's gonna say the wrong thing.
$75 on a michelada inside there. Do not fuck with them.
It's a Yankees finishing the job. Like that's the kind of series that I want to see.
That's what we want to see.
Bang on baseball. Bang, do you have a World Series pick?
Man, can I pick Houston versus Atlanta?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's ALNL.
I'm picking the South got something to say.
The South got something to say.
South got something to say. Houston versus Atlanta.
Who you got winning?
Right. Yeah.
No, I got Atlanta winning. This is the Hurricane Katrina Bowl World Series. Everybody who got hit, they had moved to Houston or Atlanta.
That is facts, though. That is facts.
I lived in Atlanta at the time. They
didn't
moved to Houston or they moved to Atlanta. So it's gonna be the Hurricane Katrina World Series.
Courtney, thank you per usual. We will be recording a MLB preview pod on the Patreon. You can subscribe to the Patreon right now if you want to check that out. Patreon.com/Barbershop Network. It'll be me, Courtney, Dante, Mikey, and that's gonna be on the Patreon next week. Probably gonna drop it like the day before the actual season comes. We're gonna do division by division breakdowns since we're gonna be on a time schedule that we're on right now.
Yeah,
But Courtney,
tap in, guys. Tap in, please.
Tap in.
There's a lot of research that goes into this shit, so definitely tap into the Patreon. We're
Definitely
put out some good content for you guys.
Courtney, we know you got a roll. Let them know where they can get in tune with you.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram and on the Bird app at 1-800-CALL-A-BRO. Hit my DMs for baseball related anything. And also to slander the Bears. I'm always here for it.
Okay. Enough of that.
That's unnecessary.
Enough of that. Well, like, what do you gain from that? Like, what do you, just for that? Yankees win 115 games. Just for that.
That's crazy.
Let's go, Yankees.
That's nasty work, guys.
27 rings, bro.
Oh,
27 rings.
See, that's what I'm trying to avoid hearing. That's what I'm trying.
You don't want to hit
avoid.
28 rings, bro.
I'm
You
so sorry. I don't give a fuck about what you did before colored people were allowed to play baseball.
Oh, okay.
I co-sign that. No, I co-sign that. That's
wrong with
That's a
that.
fact.
Tell
That's a
Boston
fact.
Celtics fans that too. Nothing before Larry Bird. I
Babe
give a
Ruth
shit
was
about.
up there fucking smoking cigars and looked pregnant, fucking hitting bombs, okay? Because, yeah, I would fucking hit bombs too if someone was throwing a goddamn pitch 45 miles an hour. Fuck out of here with that.
We have corrupted Courtney since she's been on the show.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hear
She
it.
didn't lie, though.
She didn't lie. We take full responsibility. But Courtney, we will holler
Again,
at
the
you.
thoughts and beliefs on this, etc. Y'all saw the thing before you clicked. You knew what you were doing.
It's only entertainment. It's only
It's only
entertainment.
entertainment. It's only entertainment.
Courtney, we will holler at you. Mental health matters. Courtney, we will holler at you next Monday.
Salute, guys. Cheers.
All right. We're going to wrap up the show with our final segment. We got a new segment on here we like to call Respect the Coaches. We're going to bring in the homie, comedian, the one and only, Mr. Larry Legend. Lero, what is going on, my brother?
What's going on, guys? We're back again another week.
We back again. It's been like 2 weeks since we had you on here. We didn't have a show last week, so we are here, man. First of all, if y'all not in tune with this brother, y'all need to go ahead right now and follow him on Twitter at Larry is Legend right now. As you can see right here on Instagram, is Larry is Legend 1. Follow him, get in tune with him as we're going to talk about some coaching stuff, man. So tell me what we got first on the rundown today.
All right, so we talking about the culture and things that we try to respect the culture. And in this case, I need an opinion from y'all. How do you guys feel about age gaps in relationships?
Okay.
Yeah, we had a situation recently in the NBA. If you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys. I don't know if y'all talked about this or not. Maybe not.
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, it's a little media takeout-ish. But Drea having a baby or pregnant by Jalen Green, I believe, for the Rockets. They like what? It don't matter how far apart they are in age. Her son is his age.
Yeah, I think her son is like a year older than Buddy or something like that. They in the same age group. They probably been around the same ones.
This is the same son she left all at home sleeping on the bedroom floor hungry. While she was out in the clubs busting bottles down and stuff. Got arrested or something for this. And this is, anyway, she's having a baby with a guy who's 20, who's as old as her child. Having a baby with him, that's kind of crazy. I just want to know y'all opinion on the age gaps in general. You know what I mean? Like it's not just it's a thing. Like if for some reason it's not as bad when a woman do it as when guys do it. Sometimes you see it a lot when old celebrities get divorced and remarried. It's a younger girl. This just happens a lot. So it's just like. I just want y'all opinion on that. Like, how y'all feel about that?
I'm gonna go ahead, do it, Dante.
I'm about to say more than anything. I think this is just further proof we know too much about niggas. Like, why do I know this? Like, why is this information being given to me? So, like, I feel you. Like, because sometimes that shit can definitely be predatory, and I think a lot of people may do that for control reasons or like. At least we could be honest, like I said, in our culture, some folks are just doing it for checks. I'm not saying that's why she did it, but these are the people they interact with, and these are ways to, stay on that scene. So that's what you see. But I think more than anything, bro, we see too much of this shit that we just don't need to see. Like, why do I know that this is the father of a child, bro?
Well, it's the father of a child because it's an NBA player. Like, he's a good up and coming NBA player too. It's not like she's with some nigga that's just on the Astro, not Astro Rockets.
Right. No. Yeah. But why? I should say, why do we make these stories? That's the thing. I get you.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
I even go further. And why do we even know who she is? She has no talent. I don't need to know anybody who doesn't have a talent because they date people. Let alone you're not even having. I don't even know if she's ever been married to somebody who's famous, but date people because they famous. And I gotta know you now. Like, that's a little crazy to me in itself. That's a conversation for another day. Maybe it's a conversation for today. Like, because that's a part of respecting the culture to me.
Well, I feel like, to me, I look at it like this. I think it's disgusting. I think it's nasty. Like, it's legal, definitely, obviously. Like, she's not going to jail or anything like that. And we also know that there's double standards, which is fine. I get it. There's double standards, but when Leonardo DiCaprio does it, we calm everything on planet Earth. But with this particular situation, for the first time, very rarely do you see Twitter united. But I've seen the men population and the women population kind of all come together like, that's pretty much the thing that I've seen. I haven't really seen any pushback on that. And as far as, I get Jalen Green's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was 22, 23 years old, I had all that money and Dre around, I'd probably do the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, at 35, no. That age, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with Dante. We shouldn't be knowing this shit. Like, back in our day, like, folks just popped up at a red carpet and you was like, oh man, they fucking, all right, cool. But it's reputation. I don't have an issue with the age gap because shit, we talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. Shit, Al Pacino just had a shorty with a shorty.
Robert De Niro too.
Yeah, like so you got that. I mean, you got Morgan Freeman that we ain't even got to go through Morgan Freeman. He lost the hand.
How old is Shorty? How old is Al Pacino?
That Shorty was in her 30s. G. I think she was like her 30s, and Al Pacino was damn near 80. With that being said, it's not about the age gap; it's the reputation. When you have the reputation of dealing with a certain type of dude, when you are basically known to circle the groupie circuit, when you go get pregnant by a 23-year-old player, then it just screams predatory. She's basically like, predatory lending at this point, fam. So that's what it is. If it would have been, I give y'all a perfect example of what it could have been, and nobody would have cared. If Brad Pitt went on a date with Coco Jones, wasn't nobody getting no damn.
This is one of my favorite Bang couples he done made on the show. The Brad Pitt and Coco Jones.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Coco Jones go on a date. They were like, oh shit, he pulled her. Oh shit, they look good as a couple. Now,
thinking, she going up just because you with him. I ain't even thinking about how old she is. Like, oh, she was Brad Pitt.
Yeah, she was Brad Pitt. But you got Drea out here who has a reputation going out to get the shorty who ain't got it all from the standards that we've seen. It's predatory.
He humps people. I only want to say this and then we can get to the next subject. I just want our young guys to have better women in mind. You know what? Never mind. I was going to say something. I was going to say, I know, you grew up and you was like, man, if I ever get on, I'm going to get Drea. But, D-Wade went and got Gabrielle Union. Like, at least have a level of the type of woman that you want to
go get Chloe Bailey, my nigga. Like,
Chloe Bailey.
Yeah, you gotta. It's time for folks to upgrade their standards. One thing people talk about the 90s and all of that stuff, man. Back in our day, no matter how the relationship went, see David Justice and Holly Berry. It was still David Justice and Holly Berry. Yeah. Like, then we found out shit wasn't what it was supposed to be, but it was still them. Like you said, Laro, like, fam, you got people that be like, yo, I'm gonna get this Instagram girl when I get famous.
Yeah.
Like, upgrade your standards, fam. Shouts out to Donovan Mitchell and upgrading his standards, fam.
Who he dating?
Who did he get?
Oh, look like you got Coco.
Oh,
right.
Johnson, you did say that.
Yeah, he dropped 50.
Whoa, brother, whoa. Who said that?
You
Nah.
said that.
Nah, I didn't say that.
No, I saw that on Twitter.
Somebody
She
said
said
that.
again.
Twitter
Look
said
at
it.
friends.
Don't be putting that on me.
Don't put that on him.
Somebody said that.
She went to a Cavs game in Friends. Somebody got her.
They was protecting
Okay,
him.
I thought somebody was reacting like dirt. Fell down to my knees when the whole game. One of y'all niggas like, I know I ain't tweaking, but anyway, go ahead.
All right, so to the next subject, since we're talking about women that we don't keep up with often, Karuchi, who told her that feet porn was her thing?
What's her bag?
Have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen these pictures?
Bro, they getting on the people that stay at home. It's easy money. Like she's shooting fish in a barrel right now, bro. Like, and I know a lot of the jokes is coming out, you know, saying she broke and shit like that. Nah, bro, I guarantee you, it's a weirdo that's paying that $29.95 to see her toes. G, like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's syrup.
Like,
but the thing is,
it's wild. But no, she gonna get her paper.
the
It's
thing
sad,
is,
man.
she only gonna get a paper right now because people making a mockery of it. But I just like, who sent you off, shorty? Like, it's like if it's like, what's the girl name who everybody tell to stop rapping and just do OnlyFans? She's white.
You said
white.
Oh, Iggy Azalea.
Iggy Azalea.
Yeah, it's like if she did that, if she decided
She
I'm gonna
did.
show my fingers instead. Like,
Oh, she got OnlyFans though.
she do now because she figured them bars wasn't gonna make it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Karuchi, I just wanted to bring that up because it's crazy. The feed on Karuchi.
I'll say this, like, there's a market for that because there's a lot of what they call them toe boys on the internet who spend that money. I'm not mad at her for trying to get her bread, you know.
I'm
like,
not a feet guy, but how did they look?
They not that good.
It's not.
I've
seen that.
They not that good.
That's the thing. I'm not a feet guy like that, but I've seen pretty feet pictures. These aren't the ones. The angles aren't right. She's showing way too much of the bottom of the foot.
Oh.
It's not there. I actually saw some feet boys, you know, on the internet saying how they rating her like a really low, like 3 out of 10. They like, man, Karuchi, we want you to do better. If you're gonna jump in this game, you got to come in it hard. You can't come up in here with these, you know, crescent feet. You know, her shit half crescent foot. It's not the whole foot. I want to.
Oh, so her shit like curved,
She
like
doing like curved foot pictures, and they not like. It's like it's like she at her pool, and she's just like, I'm about to take a picture of my feet, sweating all.
oh.
Like, this ain't it. You got to make them
And
cute.
she got to put some maple syrup on that motherfucker. You got to
All
be
right.
video where the maple fish. It's got to be the maple syrup just drizzle on the toe and shit, and the lighting got to be right. I'm not a toe guy, but
I'm not a toe.
you got to do it right. Hey, I'm a content is king, Scott.
Content is king, bro. Content is king.
You got to know how to do it right.
It got to look right. We can move on though, guys.
Let's take it on to our next topic.
Our next topic, man, is a little more, I guess, serious. I had to come to conclusion and come to realization this weekend, yesterday, to be exact. It was about this time yesterday. I was watching a Mavericks game, and Kyrie Irving hit a game winner with his left hand from the free throw line. It was like Kyrie Magic Irving Johnson. Like, it was. I could not believe he hit that shit, and I had to come to the realization of what I've been trying to fight. He's one of the most ridiculous players you ever seen in your life, if you really think about the stuff he do. Like, I like the fact that yesterday with that shot, it made everybody agree at one point. Just yesterday, at least, like, nah, this nigga is an artist. This is ridiculous. Like, even people who never played basketball understood how hard that was to do. And I know he's practiced that too. So it's like, I just wanted to praise Kyrie for that real quick, but also wanted to bring up like how he did that off no water and no food.
Yeah,
like,
no food.
It's crazy how people are able to elevate their game during Ramadan, because it's not an easy time to play basketball. Even bums like Enes Kanter, he had decent games when he was playing with Ramadan. You know, my favorite is Hakeem Olajuwon. Though, like, if you look at his numbers, he elevated his game every year with the Ramadan in place. Like he had to endure those Sunday games, which is kind of crazy too. It's a little NBA, you might need to work with that. You might need to about that. When
I did it for a week.
Let them play at night.
Yeah, I did it for a week. I did
You broke
shouts
Favs?
out. Yeah, I told him I was only doing it for a week. Like I gotta graduate because I'm also diabetic. And like my blood sugar went to like 58, fam, the other day. Like, no, we breaking. Yeah, I was in this motherfucker.
He's like, nigga, you need to eat now.
Peppermints and shit.
I was in
right in your vicinity.
But no, I told him I did it for 3 days. No, for the weekend last year. And I told him I was gonna give him a week. But next year I told him that I'm gonna try to do the whole thing because it's also, like I said, I'm diabetic. Accidental diabetic, as I call it. Shouts out to grapes for almost getting me the fuck up out of here. But also, just really trying to like learn it all. But also at the same time, Lara, you're right. Like it was like 2 times that I was ready to break my fast and I cussed. That's the other thing too. Like if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. Cuss. And you can't cuss, you can't eat, you can't drink. So I definitely cussed on all of our episodes last week.
Yeah, I'm about to say you broke the fuck out of that.
I broke the fuck out of that shit. So I'm gonna go full go last year. But if I felt like how I felt during it, to hoop, to play any sport, to be anything active, I have all the respect in the world for any player that's doing Ramadan while they're playing, whether you're Muslim or not, because I'm not Muslim. You got all the respect in the world because shit, I couldn't even deal with my kids.
But see, so what made you just want to do it? Since you're not Muslim,
support.
Just support.
No, support. Like support. Like that's my employee. That's my homie. I support my employees. So I just want to rock with him and just show him that I respect him and I respect his culture. I respect his religion. So it's like, man, and it was last year was from a whim. He was like, yo, you should do it. I was like, I bet. I ain't even think about like what's next. So this year I got into it a little bit more and I prayed more too. Like, and a couple of things worked out. Like, man, last week y'all might not have saw it because of the episodes, but I was stressed the fuck out. But at the same time, it was for doing it for a week, it was an amazing experience. And next year, 2025, I'm going full blown.
I respect everybody who do that. I know I couldn't. I wouldn't last a day. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I respect everybody who's able to do that. And then to play a game of basketball doing that, and it was the one thing I love about that shit. There was a left hand, and I just found out
over Jokic.
Yeah, over
left-handed.
Kyrie Irving Johnson, like
I don't know if y'all saw the video. There was a video they put out today where like NBA got all these different angles. So there's one from like the other side, and you see like the crowd like in slow motion getting hyped as the ball's going in. And when he goes in, you see the whole crowd going nuts. You see Richard Jefferson, he like this, and like Patrick Mahomes damn near on the court, like just see everybody react to that shit was kind of dope. Like Luka does what the fuck shit every game, and even he couldn't believe what the fuck he was watching. He was just sitting there like, this motherfucker's crazy. No, that was come to find out. I didn't know that Kyrie was naturally left-handed.
Yeah, just like LeBron, they both left-handed.
I didn't know that.
He said put up from the shop. I saw on Twitter.
Yeah, he said in Catholic school they used to smack his hand and make him stop writing with his left hand. Yeah. So, but he's like basketball-wise, he's ambidextrous. But like you talking about one of the greatest finishers we've seen. Like I think Kobe said it that like if he was 6'6", he'd be one of the best players.
6'6", he'd be
like,
one of the
6'6". The way he finishes, bro, is insane. Because I think it was Kyrie. It might have been D Rose, but I think it was Kyrie who said that his hoop didn't have his backboard didn't have anything in the middle. It was a hole in the middle. Yeah, he learned. That's how he learned all the angles and how to finish so crazy. And so to see him do that with his left, bro, on the run, like that was some next level shit. So no, I agree.
He's one of the best, bro.
Yeah, I'm just glad it's not the bullshit no more. That's what I'm glad about more than anything. Everybody trying to bring him down.
About him playing.
We talking about him hooping. It's been like damn near 2 years we ain't talking about Kyrie just hooping.
And I agree with that too. Like it is that was probably what made it feel good yesterday was we all was just like liking Kyrie for what he do and appreciating him and what he do. Because like I said, my main thing was just seeing how everybody understood the difficulty of that shot being a pro-dominant right-handed player. So yeah, that shit was crazy to me. We can get on out of that. Before we do though, and before I get out of here, I just want to go ahead and wrap this up because we brought it up before. Did you guys see the Love is Blind? Bang, did you even get in tune with what's going on yet?
No, I
Man,
gotta
you gotta
do it.
sit down
You gotta
one
get in
weekend,
tune.
I
bro.
You
gotta
gotta
sit
get in
down one
tune,
weekend.
bro.
You gotta
You gotta
get
get
in
in
tune,
tune.
bro.
You gotta get in tune.
Cause look, it was the homies that was talking about Love Is Blind more than the chicks, so it made me feel like I was bogus for not even getting
I'm
involved.
talking about my girl put me. We at the. I don't even remember when Love Is Blind came out, but we watching it and she had me watching it, and now it's like I'd be blue if she watched it without me. I could roll up to watch this one. You know what I mean? Like it's so like stupid dramatics. Like the drama on there is ridiculous stuff. Like this season was actually cool. It was kind of cool. I think I remember this one before I remember last year.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
I was just
Seattle's gonna
watching
be.
y'all watched the reunion, right?
I
So
watched it. Yeah, I watched it.
it wasn't the best. I actually want to go and say, like, I seen a petition to get both of the Lashleys out of the reunion, but I really think the woman needs to go. She be too biased with her opinions, and she be like, she grill people who she just don't like. It'd be like nobody talked to the black dude and the white girl at all. Like, did they even
They could
have?
have stayed. No, they could have stayed at the crib. They had their little moment, but they didn't talk.
Yeah, you was on your phone the whole time. Oh, no, I know, I'm a principal, and it was just like, oh,
Like you're not even an interesting character to be on here. Like, what is you on here? Well, like, I feel like with these reunions, they don't ever pale in comparison to the actual show, because it's like that's why I always say with anything, especially with reality TV, I never fall for the trailer. I never fall for the trailer because the trailer is gonna take stuff and put it together, make it look like it happened. The only thing I actually enjoyed from the reunion was one, how they pressed Swole folks, buddy. They pressed him like
Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor, to the point he left the fucking stage. And two, we just see how like Clay, aka who's my man who played for the Bulls? He Torrey Craig. And Clay looked like Torrey Craig. This nigga, I've never seen a nigga who. Well, actually, I have seen a nigga. It's like he was giving AD signs throughout the show that I'm gonna cheat on you, or I'm not gonna go to the fucking altar. He kept blaming his daddy's trauma, and then in the finale, his daddy was actually on the episode. He was like, well, he told his mom, he'd find you, and then she treated his ass. She's like, I found you, but you didn't do me right, and that nigga shut the fuck up. It's like he was kept like, oh, I've learned how to be a man. I'm like, nigga, you like 30, bro. Like, nobody want to hear that shit. Like, and also AD, you can tell that she likes to get strung around a lot. This ain't her first rodeo. Like, she definitely probably did or will go back to that. That's what I got from that.
I think
definitely. I'm gonna say shout out to Jimmy though. Jimmy shot his shot. He said he was open to dating AD. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
So Jimmy turned pale when he was talking to Shorty.
Bro got up out of there. He got up out the jam.
Right?
Yeah, he the one who complimented her.
Yeah, nah, Jimmy. I seen they said that was what I was about to say. I think in reality, AD likes white men, and that's what she's used to dating. I mean,
live in Boston.
Look at her wigs. I mean, that's a clear giveaway. And she's going by AD, and I thought it was because she was African. Her name is like Amber. Like, it's a clear giveaway. Yeah, like
I did too, and I found out like, what the fuck?
Even the way she was talking when she was talking to the white dude when she in the pods, she had a different voice than she started talking to everybody else.
She put the corporate voice on.
She dates white dudes primarily, and I personally think, like I might have said this on the show, I think Clay like light skinned girls. That's just what I think. I think Clay thought she was light skinned.
He said that without saying it.
Yeah, he was just like, he just couldn't say nothing but her body. She not ugly, but that don't mean she fine to you. You know what I mean? Like, she not ugly. It's just like, she look good to somebody, but like me, it's just like, I just got the vibe that they were attracted to each other, but they not. Plus, he's calculated. This nigga talk like he doing interviews at all times.
Yeah, he definitely sit down like he hosts TED Talks.
And he was like, "Yep." He sounds like Russell Simmons' son when they was like, "What you up to now?" He was like, "Yep, license, yep."
Russie,
real estate.
I got me real estate. Yes, thanks. I see hella AD tweets. People thought I thought some Anthony Davis. Like, dead ass. If I didn't watch the show, I would think the same thing too. Like,
I said the same thing. I'm like, who is AD? Thick as hell. What's going on? AD thick as hell. What's this nasty? Why you say that? Well, yeah, that's what we had for y'all this week, man. This things going on in our culture. I mean, just in the culture. It ain't been a lot going on, even though it's been.
Well, can I wrap this up with one culture thing? I kind of saw this in the chat. It said a Power Book 2. This is what I got to say about that. First of all, I'm very happy that we are getting a Tommy and Ghost spinoff. Okay. Now, I as somebody always say, if you're gonna have a bad TV show, at least let it be entertaining. Is Power good television? No, Power has not been good television since season 3 of the original series. When Ghost shot a fucking district attorney and was out of jail in 2 episodes, we jumped the shark. So that's when it stopped being good television. But it is entertaining. It is the drug dealing Fast and the Furious, the drug dealing MCU. That I don't care. But the fact that they're one thing I only had an issue with is I know this is gonna be the final season of Power Book 2, aka we just call it Tariq. Black people just call it Tariq. We don't call that shit Power Book 2. Like we call that shit Tariq. Tariq. They said they're canceling though. It's not like they're doing it just because they're trying to wrap the story, which is crazy to me because outside of P Valley, niggas only got stars to watch Power. So I don't understand what them actually canceling that for. Like
that's for money reasons. It's kind of like with Disney. One of the Disney
budget cuts,
Disney stars. Yeah, no, not budget cuts. They said what they do is once you get to like season 3 or 4, that's when you getting close to syndication. So they end your shit, so they ain't got to pay you no more.
Right.
So that's all that was. And then dude said it. He basically came out and said, you know, as shows get popular, the budget get bigger, it's more expensive. But if we do this spinoff, we can basically start from scratch. So
and then
you know,
reportedly, they're going to. I mean, this is the final season, but reportedly, they're going to have enough episodes for a season 4 and a season 5. They just combining it into part
they
1
break
and
it
part
up into
2.
parts. Yeah, kind of like what Sopranos did. Sopranos did that. Entourage did that. Well, Entourage season 3 was like 20 episodes, and Sopranos not only was it broken up, they dropped in separate years. So I call part 2 season 7. That's what it is to me. Like, but so I'm interested to see how that's going to be. But as far as like what you kind of said, Dante, thing, I think what you're going to see from here on out, you're going to start seeing shorter TV shows. You know, and honestly, it needs to be like Insecure. Everybody, I know everybody loved watching it. It did not need to go past season 5. Like it honestly did not need to go. Succession is perfect because it's only 4 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like
I need another one though.
What, another season of Succession?
I need another season.
But what else? What you want to see? I'm going for a Succession movie.
I don't know, but I need to see some more. I need one more. I'm not over that shit.
See how time? Well, you didn't want time to run the whole thing.
Man, look, I'm still. We talked about that shit earlier today, fam. I need another season of Succession now.
I'm currently in the rewatch of Succession, and it is an amazing show. But Laro, man, let them know what you got coming. You know, I know you got some stuff coming outside of the show. What you got, cooking up?
My newest stuff, like I said, we coming up with the brand culture, the Culture Seller Network. We working on it. It's just gonna be like a platform to present a lot of different content. That's something that I'm working on. I've been working on for the last maybe 10 months or so.
Okay.
Other than that, some other stuff I've been working on, I can't really say right now. One of them is a show that I have been doing. I have been filming. I just haven't polished it up yet. It's called Strain Namer. That's why I bring two types of weed together and name it. It's nothing crazy. And I bring a guest on and we talk about some high stuff. Nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just
that sounds like a show for Dante. That sounds right up Dante.
I am very intrigued.
All right, look, whenever you in town, we'd love to get you on there too. But I'm
in town.
Those are you in Chicago?
This is hilarious. Nobody knows Bang is Chicago. This is the funniest shit ever.
Nah, wait, hold on. Who said they was in town?
Me.
Bang live in Chicago.
I know Bang said he in town.
I will show up.
Are you want to come to come on through, man? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got to set up and all of that. But that's some of the stuff I've been working on pretty much. So y'all could just get up with me. Like I said, it's coming out very soon. We got some other shows we've been working on and other content and stuff like that.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Oh, I want to say this, and I want to cause a little riot here. And I'm get on me if you got to understand. I've stopped watching Power and all of the Power universe.
I don't blame you.
After Ghost died, so I don't even know. I've never seen an episode of none of the Power. I feel so bad because there's so many of my friends who own the shows, and I haven't seen any of the fucking episodes. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Even all of my friends in the hood, why you ain't you, man, BMF coming out with season whatever.
I have a beef with BMF. Like, see, I will allow Power to be outrageous because it's fictional. I have a problem with BMF because it's based on a real story. That shit, and I've followed BMF, the actual shit. I've watched the documentaries. I know everything it is to know about Big Meech, Terry, and that whole shit. That shit ain't BMF. That shit is Power Detroit. That's
Bruh.
what it is.
Them niggas had 96 Pac in 1991. Like this,
Oh
they're
my
not even
nigga.
trying, bro. Like they're not
They're
even
not
trying to be
even
accurate.
trying.
Like that's the crazy part.
Like they had Pop with the bandana. Like he didn't even do Juice when this was going on. Like what
This was a butter rim Pac. Like he had this one still was wearing the hats. Like,
they might have had him with the leather vest and the wife beater on too. Like they had the full. I seen a picture of the Pac they had. I didn't like it, but yeah, I got to get into the 50 Cent universe. You know,
the St. Patrick cinematic universe is what I like to call it.
It makes me feel as least nigga as possible when I'm outside. And everybody's talking about this shit, and it's like I get on Twitter and they be like, "Did you see the episode last night? Ooh, Charles is going down." I don't know who Charles is. I'm just like, damn, man, I got to get.
But it's like, you know how your grandma be like, "Oh, I've got to watch my stories." It's the nigga stories.
It's the story.
It's the nigga stories.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Bro, one of my brothers is like he's like a strict nigga, Reese.
Yeah,
bro,
shout out to Reese.
You know, Reese he don't play games. He don't put ketchup on his hot dog. He don't put ketchup on his burger. He
drinks a specific beer.
You feel me? He's a very strict guy. So when I found out he watched the show, I felt really like, so I got to get into it, man. I just got to get into it.
You got to get into it. Speaking of talent, speaking of TV, we're gonna put an announcement out here. Me and Dante are doing an Entourage rewatch for the Patreon that we're gonna be dropping this summer. I find any reason to rewatch fucking Entourage.
Did y'all start already?
No, we ain't started. We're gonna start next month.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna join y'all and watch.
I also haven't watched the full Entourage. I only watched some of
it. I've watched Entourage. There's two shows I can tell you like I wrote it. Entourage and fucking The Wire. I could tell you the script like I wrote them shits.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of the easiest shows to binge because
it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Like that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be doing that. That's gonna be on the Patreon. We're gonna start recording that next month. And then we're gonna drop that during the summer. So even though there's no NBA on or football, y'all got something to check out. So we're gonna do that. But Lero, definitely appreciate you coming on. We're gonna holler at you next Monday, bro.
Peace, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.
I was just thinking about what y'all were just talking about right there. And it just made me laugh in my head how I used to just watch HBO for filth at one point.
When HBO was just filth?
Yeah.
Like real sex, the Punani poets and shit. I see you, JR. I see you.
They shared on Instagram. On Instagram, they had the little picture. It's like, yo, if you watch this, you nasty. And it was Taxi Cab Confessions.
That nigga was like, that was my shit.
I was like, that was my shit, right? I was like, that's my shit. Matter of fact, when y'all listen to the latest episode of First Black Champ that's probably gonna drop tomorrow, like we actually kick off First Black Champ having a discussion about like the filth that used to come on Cinemax at 10:35.
We might talk about that on Summer Sessions.
Oh yeah.
It is not a myth. We will have a Summer Sessions on Wednesday. I guarantee it.
But yeah, I know some of them real sex episodes like the back of my head. The Punani Poets, the first time the Sibian, first time I saw a Sibian. And when I went to Exotica, I paid a girl $20 to be on the Sibian, and I was like, yeah, like, yo, this is great. I was up in that motherfucker controller like it was goddamn video game. Nigga,
I'm
like
gonna get a text from Thomas in like 5 minutes. Y'all niggas was wilding on them last 20 minutes. Man. But we gonna wrap this up. We gonna get y'all ready for our local hour, man. Indie local hour. Of course, if you want to watch the local hour, you can subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chat Network. The local hour will be available by at least 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 Central Time for Chicago out there. We're gonna be talking about a whole bunch of things, and we're gonna pull up what we're talking about right here. We're gonna be talking about the locker room response. What's up with the Bears players who didn't like what happened with Justin Fields. We're going to talk about that. Is that something to worry about when this coming season comes up? We're going to talk about the number one pick evaluation. Caleb Williams Pro Day is on Wednesday, and he will be visiting Hall either this weekend or early next week. And then we talk about who has the most pressure. We talked about the expectations for Caleb, and I did get cooked. I don't know if y'all saw my video. I felt like Adrian Broner. Damn, I got cooked. But we're going to talk about who has more pressure. Is it Caleb or is it Coach Eberflus? And then we're going to get DeMar DeRozan appreciation. Even though the Bulls suck, I want to give my man DeMar some love for what he's done in this 3 seasons here with the Bulls. And then we're going to get Dante and Mikey's take on the Dylan Cease trade that happened last week. So Mikey will be joining us in that. So we appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody watching, man. We had almost around 700 people in the stream today, man. We appreciate that. The numbers are going higher and higher. So we appreciate all your level of support, man. So y'all know to follow JR Bang on Twitter and Instagram at JR Bang. Y'all can follow Dante at October Zone Tay. You can follow me at Barberchair Scott. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net. Follow HB Media, HB Media TV on Twitter and HB Media on Instagram. I'll let y'all on Wednesday for halftime. It's probably going to be a late edition because I want to give my thoughts on Kayla's Pro Day. And the Pro Day is not till 5 out here, but that will happen on Friday. On Wednesday. And then Friday, be back for another edition of the show with Cousin Dan Fridays, man. So we'll holler at y'all. We out.